4th episode of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hey, how about that? And we don't really have a lot of announcements tonight, apart from one, and it is possibly the saddest announcement I've ever had to give at the start of the show. Sadly, Alias, a long-time cast member, will be leaving us. I believe the 4th is her last session with us, but unfortunately, due to work commitments and career opportunities, that sort of thing, she will have to say goodbye. And, well, we'll be sorry to see you go, Alias.
It's going to be that. I'm just going to say bye.
That's it. Yeah. See you later. Thanks for the opportunity, but bye.
Hit the dab and close your camera.
Yeah. I will not dab ever.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe if we get enough requests for it in the comments. I'll dab.
Oh my god. It has to happen.
No.
Crowdfund the dab.
Craig said that a character just explodes if we ever dab.
Yes, you're right, actually.
Perfect way to go out.
It's insta-death. Okay.
I think it is. Yeah, that's one of the core rules of Guildgates and
If
Goblins.
you dab, you trigger the wild magic table.
Oh boy. But yeah, that's it for announcements tonight. So, last session, the party arrived in the town of Valaki, seemingly the main hub of people in the miserable land of Barovia. Upon arriving, they began to make their way to the Church of St. Andrel, where they hoped to leave Irina in the care of the local priest. Along the way through the town, they first encountered a local entertainer named Rictavio, who was putting on a puppet show concerning witches to an apathetic crowd of children. The next passed through the town square, where they saw an old proclamation advertising a festival called the Wolf's Head Jamboree, as well as a local in the stocks wearing a paper donkey head. They also saw the construction of what appeared to be a large wicker sun in the center. Eventually, the party arrived at the church, where the local priest, Father Lucian Petrovich, greeted Irina and said she was welcome to stay at the church and lie low. The priest also asked the party if they could assist him in tracking down the bones of St. Andrel, which the priest believes in some way protects the church, but unfortunately had recently gone missing. The party agreed, and after talking with the altar boy and a young bully, the party traced the bones to the local coffin-maker's shop. Along the way to the shop, they crossed paths with a local noble known as Vasily von Holtz, who appeared to be well liked by the common people for his charitable services. He asked the party to look into some children who had gone missing after their parents had fallen prey to some strange pastries. The party agreed to investigate and made their way to the house of the missing children. Once there, they found the house strangely empty, except for some pies and the parents seemingly in a stupor. After mashing one pie and blowing up another,
Oh yeah, I did do that.
the party believed that the pies can be traced back to Old Bone Grinder, a nearby windmill, and potentially the location of the missing children. They then made their way to the coffin makers, and after intimidating him, he revealed that he had orchestrated the theft of the bones on the orders from Strahd. He also revealed that the bones were upstairs in his bedroom, as well as several vampiric spawn in his storage room. The party headed upstairs, and after a brief encounter, during which the spawn seemed to outmatch the party, they fled and attempted to barricade them in. Once outside, Godfrey cast Unseen Servant and used this to retrieve the bones from the bedroom. So thanks very much to Invisible Steve. And we now join the party outside the coffin maker on the streets of Valaki. So, what would y'all like to do?
Breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I was going to say, take a giant deep breath. Oof.
I think that we should... The coffin maker. He's aiding the bad man.
Are
He
you
also
okay?
ran off with my shackles.
You okay there, Nerlus?
Did that take a little bit more out of you than you
Yeah.
expected?
Yeah, that's all right, buddy. The bad man is doing things again.
I mean, to be fair,
Would you call Strahd not a bad man?
Wow,
I'm just saying.
I'd call him a bad something.
to be fair, he was more or less being extorted. It's not like he's willingly working with Strahd. It's either you work with Strahd or you die, so I can't blame the guy necessarily.
It's a recurring
Okay.
theme we've seen here.
Yeah.
Regardless, oh wait, Craig, is you said he ran out the shop. I don't remember if you said which direction he was headed.
No, you guys were in the shop when he ran outside,
Yeah,
so
we
you
just
just lost
saw
sight
him
of him.
outside.
God.
Let's track him down.
Well, I don't know if we have time for that. I was just gonna say, like,
To be
Well,
fair, we
on
got what
the-
we came for.
Right. I was gonna say on the route back to the church, we should keep an eye out for him, just in case. Also, keep an ear out for the dangling of my shackles.
Wait, what shackles were taken?
I put manacles on his arms.
We shackled them up while we were up.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's running away like this.
There's a shackled up dude running around somewhere.
Okay, cool.
What if he just never gets them off? What if that's just his life now?
Someone will get him off.
So-
I
Maybe.
say,
Break the
you would
chain
think
at
that
least.
You'd think that a coffin maker would know at least a blacksmith somewhere.
Oh, you'd hope so. Well, should we take these bones back?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think we were gonna rest up for the night and then head out to Bone Grinder tomorrow morning. Is the plan?
I don't know about you, but I feel perfectly fine.
We
Yeah,
gotta go
ooh,
rescue those kids.
that fight was very difficult, comrades. Oof.
Very.
I roll my eyes and start walking.
Yeah, I also
I
start
follow you.
looking.
I don't know about you, but I definitely need a rest.
Yeah, we
Okay,
should head to
so-
that tavern afterwards.
So you're going to the church.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bones back. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys begin to make your way along the streets, and by this point, the sun is approaching kind of it's setting a little bit. The shadows are going long on the streets, although it is still up. As you guys get a little bit closer to the church, though, you can see what looks to be a large group of Barovians out front of the church, and you can see the priest, Father Lucian Petrovich, outside, seemingly speaking to them as they file inside slowly. Looks like he might be welcoming the evening congregation.
Huh. Well, we could just go
Should-
drop him off with him.
That's true.
Reed?
I'll start
Go on,
approaching
then.
Petrovich.
Okay, so it's just you approaching as a Godfrey, or is anyone else going with him?
I've got the bones, right? I think.
I'll go with him.
I'll go with him.
I'll
Okay.
just hang back. I'll just hang back in the meantime.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Damn.
All right. Sure. Okay. So let's probably splits up here a little bit. The three who approach Father Lucian Petrovich, he locks eyes with you as you approach, but as he's just about to say something, you all hear the sounds of screaming and yelling coming from the streets further down the road. People all panicking and fleeing doors, and you can see making their way across the rooftops
no.
are those 6 vampiric spawn, and they are making their way immediately towards the church.
Oh shit!
Everybody get in the church.
Run!
Let's go.
Run now! Get in! Get in!
I'm
Get
gonna
in!
run up to Petrovich and hold the bones out and be like, "Hey, are these gonna help?"
So
Please
one
say
moment.
yes.
Let me just move us onto the battle map, and I'll
Oh
bring
no!
it up.
No,
Oh,
don't
my-
do that. You don't need to do that.
So you would all be kind of in the bottom left hand corner of the map, and you can all roll initiative.
Oh, Lord.
No.
Why? What have we done?
But Godfrey, as you approach Father Lucian Petrovich, and for a brief moment he seems completely stunned and lost for words at the sight of the creatures approaching him. Before he turns to you, yes, get them inside to the crypt.
They're
First
flipping
on the
fast.
right.
I'm gonna run in holding them and go, "I don't know where that is."
The first door. It's the first door to the right.
I will run in and take the first door to the right.
All right. Well, before we get to that, so is the music playing for you guys? I
Yep,
can't hear.
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Also, it's just me for once that can't hear the music. All right. So
Roll
Godfrey,
20.
you're kind of in the front door to the left, and I will say the tokens of these kind of gray, black, and white people, those are just kind of represent Barovian commoners.
God, they look.
You can see.
They look
Yes,
miserable.
They're having
They
a
look
terrible
quite
time.
miserable, don't they?
So
okay.
I'm running in and taking the door to the. Oh, I'm like, yeah, I ran in. Whatever. Wait, no, I'm there. I'm going to the right. Okay.
Hold on, my roll 20 just completely closed.
Oh, that's always fun.
The DM's not working. We can do whatever we want.
All right. Remove all the tokens.
Delete
quick.
all the
No, no,
vampire
no, no.
tokens.
Oh boy. Sorry, give me a second here.
Okay,
Once I
who's the old man inside the church?
He's the guy we manacled, I think.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got
that
you
is
guys.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of those of you who weren't here, that is the token for Henrik van der Voort, who is the local coffin maker. I'm
Thunderfoot.
sorry, I need to give you guys all a turn. Sorry, me disconnecting has just completely killed the momentum. And
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. The
My
the
immersion
vampires are
is
just
sweet.
on the roof going.
all right.
Loading
So you
arrow.
guys should all have turns, and I shall give him a turn, and
Shall
I'll just
roll
give
my
Bloody vampires are fast. Holy crap.
Man, I
that's a
I
terrible
rolled the
roll.
dice for my initiative. It sat on a 20 and then rolled to a 2. I was like, you.
I got a 2-2. Good
I got
job.
an 11, so it's
You've got a
12.
2/2 alias. That's
I do. I'm very
Wait,
pretty.
you got a 2 and you have an initiative modifier of 0?
Yeah.
She's a
She doesn't
paladin.
need
She doesn't have dex.
dexterity.
You still need some dex.
No, Dex is a
I
nerd
have.
stat, mate.
I have
It's
no
useless
dex.
with plate mail.
Yep.
True.
okay. So sorry. Let me reveal the vampires, who are.
Nah, we don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Hello,
Oh.
it's I.
Thanks,
Vampire.
I hate them.
And let me just.
I
their
haven't
turn
healed
in.
yet.
Oh crap. Who locked the door? You did a poor job of it.
I've already used my action.
I did a fantastic job of it. You're welcome. They just probably got out, a window or something.
The,
All right.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Who's super screwed? I can kind of
All of us?
help you. I have
Okay.
healing.
All right. I've caught up. Okay. So.
I'm the only one who took damage last time.
So you all see these vampires close just essentially on the edge of the church grounds, and they are snarling and breaking out towards both yourselves and the commoners who are still outside. So Arimal, you have the first action. What would you like to do?
Get in.
I'd like to use my bonus action and cast Hunter's Mark on the one that I just pinged on the map.
Sure. So that just happens, isn't it? If I can remember, no saving throws yet. Okay. So he's got the snail of Hunter's Mark. It's back again.
Hey.
Welcome back.
The legendary snail.
I'll go ahead and shoot at him with my bow
You go ahead.
for a 16.
16 hits.
Okay, for... Oh wait, never mind, that's a D8. Okay, 7 plus, 9, and then Hunter's Mark damage. So it's 9 piercing damage, and then 4... Actually, I think Hunter's Mark just...
Yeah, I believe it. I believe
it's
it's yeah,
additional to the weapon type,
Yes.
so yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically-
okay, so
okay.
13 points
Okay,
of
so you-
piercing damage.
So you watch the arrow embed into the vampiric spawn shoulder, and it kind of snarls out and growls towards you, and whilst this arrow is sticking out of its shoulder.
Okay, and then I would actually like to use my ranger feat, Horde Breaker,
Okay.
and attack the one immediately to the right of him.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
Does
It
sound
is.
fun.
What does
Very
that do?
excited to use
I
it.
really like Hordebreaker. It's a really cool ability.
Craig, you were the one that told me to take it, and you were okay, cool. I am very excited. All right, that's a 19. So I'm gonna
19 also hits.
Okay, 4.
What does it do for D&D noobs?
It just lets him, if there's a creature within 5 feet of another creature that he attacks, he can just essentially hit another one
Oh, that's
for
cool.
free for once.
All right.
I was gonna say, does it chain? Like, is it like
No,
a-
it can't be infinite.
That'd be
That'd be a
so
bit
cool.
ridiculous.
Just Legolas this entire group. Okay, only 3 points of piercing
3
damage.
points.
I threw a
Okay.
1.
Fine, they all
Alright.
die anyway.
So you fire off a shot, and it gouges deeply across her ear, and she kind of screeches out, but doesn't seem to have left a lasting mark.
And then I guess what I'll do is I will stand. Can I get into the church right now? Is my way blocked?
It's pretty congested with with Lucian Petrovich there and the commoners. He's essentially trying to like escort them in and telling them to hurry. So it's kind of, I would say, it would be difficult terrain to kind of squeeze through.
I'll just kind of move over here and kind of help shepherd people in then, I
Sure.
guess.
Okay, no problem. All right, so
That's my
Lokai,
turn.
what would you like to do?
What time of day is it? Like, is it sunny out? Is it?
Yeah,
is
the sun is setting, but
Well,
it is
sun.
still. Yes, sorry. The day is getting darker, but it is still daylight.
Okay. Oh boy, I'm going to rage.
Smart.
Good start.
Oh man, what do I want to do here? I can't very well let these people fend for themselves. I guess I'm gonna move to the side of Layson here
Uh huh.
and just prepare an action. I guess if anything comes close to me, I'm gonna smack it with my axe.
If anything comes close to you.
Well, any vampire, just
I am
Look,
right
I get it.
Don't hit me like I
if any vampire comes near me, I'm gonna smack it.
All right. Okay. So Lucian, for his turn again, he's not going to move. He is holding firm where he is, and he's essentially shepherding the people inside and screaming out for them to kind of take cover inside. The commoners. So let's see. The one is closest. He can do this, and then okay. Yeah, so he makes it inside. The next guy with his nice like triple chin
Where'd you get a picture of me?
So let me just see how far they can get in. You get to about there. Sorry, just moving these guys is a little bit time consuming.
I am very glad they're making it into the church, though.
Yeah.
Run, you fools!
Me
Fly, you
too.
fools.
Because I don't know if we all will.
That's fine. It's
Sure.
totally fine. I'm decently hard to hit.
Are you drawing boxes again?
Not
Just-
worried
No.
about you.
No,
That's
that's
me.
not me.
Oh.
I don't have the cool spells anymore.
Right.
Okay, so the commoners seemingly flee and take shelter inside the center of the church.
Good. Yeah.
And that's the end of their turn. So, Godfrey, what would you like to do?
All right, I'm going to. Do I hear people fighting outside? I guess I would.
Yeah, well, the door is open. You can see outside and you can see what's coming. The door isn't closed, despite what the map may say. And you've seen Animal fire off a shot towards two of the vampires.
All
And
right,
the commoners.
can I speak to Petrovich?
Yeah, you certainly can.
I'll just yell at Petrovich. What should I do?
Just put them in the crypt. You'll see the tomb. You can't miss
All
it.
right.
Beneath, at the bottom, there's a slot. Stuff them in there, quickly.
All right. So he said first door on the right, didn't he?
Yeah, he said first door.
I'm gonna barrel through the first door on the right.
Okay.
Hello, I'm in this room now. What's in this room?
So yes, inside that room, it's mostly a kind of waterlogged chamber where there seems to be holes in the roofs that rain might seem to puddle in. But you do spot the trapdoor in the bottom right-hand corner, and although this map shows that it's padlocked, it isn't padlocked, but
Okay.
it is closed.
Okay, can I open that?
You can try to open that because as you grasp the handle, the water in the room seems to have inflated the
no.
boards, and it is a tight pool for you. So you want to make a strength check for
Nah.
me.
In that case, would I realize that it's gonna take extra effort to open when I see it?
Yeah, as soon as you try and pull on it, you would feel immediate resistance.
In
So
that
you-
case, I'm going to in a cube originating from me, aimed at that, I'm gonna cast a thunder wave
Oh
at
my
it.
god. Blow everything
I'm gonna
apart.
evoke a thunder wave and try to blast through the trapdoor.
Okay, can you just give me the text for
Sure
Thunderwave
thing.
just to make sure that I think it should be fine.
A wave of thunderous force sweeps
Yeah.
out from you.
Thunderous force.
It can hit objects as well. They're automatically pushed 10 feet away from me, and it emits a thunderous boom audible to 300 feet.
We're all gonna hear this boom from
Yeah, you scare the shit
Good
out of
ourselves.
everyone.
All right.
You think it's bad for you? I'm in an enclosed space casting this.
days!
Tonight, this is terrible.
Okay, so Godfrey, you clap your hands together and cast Thunderwave, and the whole church shakes and reverberates. Those of you outside see cracks begin to appear in the plaster, and you can hear distant groaning and cries out from the inside of the church, what you take to be the commoners. But for you, Godfrey, yes, the trapdoor has blown apart and seemingly leads down.
I'm going down.
Okay, so you head down. So what was that? How much movement have you? Did you? use? One,
So
two.
I've used 15 feet. One,
Okay.
2, 3. Yeah, 15. So I got
15 feet,
I got
okay.
10 more because I'm a gnome.
Okay. Let me just reveal the
You only have 25
underground.
feet.
Yeah, I only get
Feels
25 feet
bad.
because I'm small.
He's got a really
Which I
fast
will
step.
forget about constantly, but
Okay.
yeah, I do technically
Alright.
get 25 feet.
So you should see the crypt on the right hand side now. So you essentially appear at the top of the stairs there,
Alright.
and that would take about 5 feet of movement to get there. And you can spot just in the far distance what looks to be the sarcophagus or coffin that Father
Alright.
Petrovich might have mentioned.
Yeah, in that case, I'll jog 5 feet down the stairs, as I already have. And, yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay.
I
Alright.
don't dare take the yeet of the bones at the coffin.
You're not gonna.
Fucking football them.
They hit the wall and shatter.
Brady!
Okay.
Yeah,
all
that'll
right.
end my turn.
Okay, so starting left to right. First of all,
Here
the
comes the death.
the leftmost vampiric spawn is going to hold on. Oop, I added them to the map layer by mistake.
I'm 100% very worried.
All right. So the first one dashes out towards you, Neuros, and is going to first make an
Guys,
attack
stand in
against
front of
you. That's a 14.
Miss.
Miss. Okay, so it just kind of scrapes across your armor and you step back from it. It's going to swing out again with its claws. Okay, that time's a 16.
Miss.
Oh, also missed. Nice.
Hey,
Okay.
you hit twice.
What the hell are you?
The second one dashes out towards you, Layson, and it is also going to try and swing at you with its claws. So first attack is 14.
I'm going to react by cutting words.
Okay, so that's disadvantage for me, is it?
No, I just get to take 1d6 away from that attack roll.
All right, okay, so you want to roll a d6?
Please roll more than a 1, I swear to God. Hey, there's a 5. So
A 5, okay. So that brings it down to a 9, which I assume misses. The second swipe at you is, okay, that's only a 7, so that one misses.
Perfect.
This one here dashes towards you, Lokai, and swings at you with its claws. So the first attack is an 11.
Nope.
And the second attack is, okay, that's another 7.
Does she get to hit it?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
do.
I do.
Yes, sorry, my
You
mistake.
do.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Thank you for
You could-
remembering.
yeah,
I totally
I
sorry.
like
Well
to
done
hit
remembering,
them.
Alias.
I'm
So,
barbarians, so go.
Loren, you can hit the one that moved to Layson or the one that's moved to you because they're both kind of close the distance.
I'll hit the one that moved to me, I guess.
Okay, so you want to make an attack?
That's only a 10, unfortunately.
Okay, that doesn't hit, I'm afraid. So just as it kind of barrels towards you, you take a high swing and it just kind of ducks beneath it. This one here dashes out towards you, Aramil, and takes some swings at you. So the first one is a 15. Miss. Second attack is that's a 23.
Oh yeah, that'll hit me.
Okay, so from that you
pierces
take,
his power armor, yeah.
okay, so you take 11 points of slashing damage as it just rakes its claws across your chest, and you feel this deep burning pain as it does so. The other two on the outside dash around the edge and
sneaky
make
shits.
their way towards the windows.
Oh god.
And they begin to climb up the sides of the church. But you kind of lose sight of
These
them there.
dudes love rooftops. Oh my god.
But Nurlos, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm
Hardcore
close and
vampires.
personal with Scrub Lords, so I think I'm just going to pull out my sweet hand and a half sword and take a stab at the one that is diagonal to me.
Okie doke.
Let's see.
Get
A nice
inside.
+6 on this.
Guys,
Crap. That's a 12.
12, that does not hit, I'm afraid.
Pass turn.
Pass the turn, okay. Okay, upkeep.
List
Layson.
of people who should get inside.
Guys, you should
You.
really get inside.
Oh,
This isn't a
fuck.
joke.
Yeah. Layson is very scared right now.
I'm not over here destroying 17th century Gothic architecture so that you guys can't get inside.
Yeah, I'm going to disengage from
Okay.
all of these wonderful people.
All right.
I
Oh,
will
right,
not
I can
live
do
many turns here.
And travel there.
Sure thing.
And
And
that's
disengage,
actually, can I jeez, what is the range here? I can. Okay, so I could from where I'm standing, can I see 10 feet behind these people? The zombie dudes.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay,
The
in that
door's
case,
open.
I'm going to cast Shatter.
Okay, so what does
behind
that
them.
do?
So it's a 10-foot radius sphere. So I'm trying to just hit them. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that'd be fine. You could get all three of them.
And I disengaged. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, I thought it was a bonus action or something.
Yeah, that was a bonus action.
Nope. Sorry.
Shadow's a full-on.
Sorry, I made many mistakes. In that case, I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Lokai.
Okay, so you cast Healing Word on Lokai if you want to roll for
Sorry,
heal.
everybody.
Big fan.
Minimum healing. That's a whopping 5 health. There you
Hey,
go, buddy.
I'll take it.
There you go,
Okay,
buddy.
all right. For a barbarian, that's practically 10.
That's an extra turn. Yeah, that's an extra hit.
All right,
And that's it for me. Sorry.
that's it for you. Okay, Rosalind, what would you like to do?
I would like to bless my companions who are within range of me.
Okay.
So I can, I can bless them, the 4 of them.
Well, I think Bless is a maximum of 3 unless you cast at a higher level. Is that correct? It's
Wait,
pretty much reverse Bane, isn't it? I think that's what the spell says.
I think it says 4.
I think it's
Okay.
4 or more for each spell slot you cast it above, and you're casting it at first level.
Less is
I believe-
3.
Oh, you bless up to 3 creatures. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bless Lokai. I've forgotten whose characters, whoever else is outside with me. I'm blessing them.
Who's that?
Aramil and
Who's that?
Carlos.
There we go.
All
I'm
right, there we
blessing
go.
them,
You're
so-
all blessed. There you go. So that's an
You're
extra
all-
1d4 on attack rolls and saving throws.
You're all blessed. And I'm going to tell this father man, get inside right now. And I think I'm going to go inside with him. I don't think I have any bonus action.
Might have saw the other vampires go around the building, so you might.
Yeah. I think seeing them, I'm going to go inside and try and get to the where the people are.
Chopper.
Okay, so yeah, you can
Get
move.
to
You
the
can move it.
Don't forget the chopper. All right, so I'm gonna move myself if I can pick my token up. Whee! So I'm gonna go there and there. How far is that?
Okay, yeah, that'd be.
This is 15, and then
It'd be. You've used all your movement to get there.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
all
So
right.
I'm inside now, and I've blessed you guys outside. Good luck. Have fun.
Okay.
Running
all right,
inside
so-
to help the friends inside.
Close the door.
Yeah. Close the door.
Oops, I've given the commoners 2 turns. Let me just delete his. Okay, they're not getting any chance to survive. Okay, Aramil, back to you. What would you like to do?
I will go ahead and I will run, and I'll take the opportunity attack to do this, and I will just run in here, just inside the doorway.
I love it when they say that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 17 to hit.
That just hits.
Okay, so as she swings out towards you, rather than this time attacking you, she's going to try and wrap her arms around your leg and stop you from escaping. So I need you to
my
make
God.
a acrobatics or athletics check for me to
Okay.
contest the
Not that
grapple.
one.
Don't forget to add the D4.
That's
that's
correct.
true.
Yeah.
And my athletics is +6. Don't fail me now, game. Oh, okay. Phew. Oh, I thought that was a 4. It's a 14.
14. Okay.
Well, wait. +6 +4, 1.
Plus
So,
1d4, yeah.
Yeah, so 21.
21. Okay, yeah. So as her claws just grab onto your shin, you just shake it off and manage to make it inside the church.
I want to start singing "Shake It Off" now.
Yeah, that immediately popped into my head as well, but I refrained. So I'll be-
Bless
Two
actually
more
recommend
vampires spawn
Bless
for
only
each
saving
verse
throws and
region.
checks.
What'd you
Hold
say? Red?
I think
It's,
Bless is
it's
only
attack
saving
rolls
throws
and
checks.
saving throws, I think. So
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
so
that's
that
a
wouldn't have
saving
counted.
throw.
Oh, that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah, 'cause that was his
Okay,
check. But
well, then-
nonetheless, you still save.
Yeah.
It's okay. I like to think I helped.
Yeah, in some way. Okay, Saramil, you've made it inside. What would you like
And
to do?
I will go ahead and turn around and shoot 2 more shots, one at the first guy and then Hornbreaker the second guy.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one is a... Oh, that's a 4, so 10.
10. 10 does not hit.
Oof. Okay, second guy.
Second attack. Okay.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Ooh, you know what? Because I didn't specify, I'll just say it wasn't the guy that I hunter's marked, because I should have specified.
All right. Okay. No, that's fine. I kind of got you. You mean you're going for the hunter's mark guy, then the guy on the left.
No, wait,
Yeah,
wouldn't my bless now affect his attacks?
Yeah. Have you been casting with the or rolling with the blast there, walking?
I have not. Okay, that's my
Okay.
bad.
You are blessed.
What was your first one?
My
Your
version
first
was
one was a 10. Don't worry about it. It wouldn't, even if you max rolled, you wouldn't hit it. But the
Okay.
second one.
Okay, so the second one was like a 20 even without the bless. So we're
All right.
good.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay,
that hits.
So it's 9 piercing damage.
9
to-
piercing damage. Okay, so as you fire off a shot, it just pierces through the creature's shin, and you see this kind of dark blood spray out behind it. And anything else you'd like to do?
That's some spooky guys. All right. Yeah, all in my
They're
turn.
not a joke.
How
Okay.
much damage you guys do to these guys last fight?
None.
Nine.
Well, I will say,
Come on.
regarding any previous damage, they look completely fine. Any attacks you may have made or damage they may have taken, they look completely fine now.
Yay.
That's why we want to
Um,
get inside.
So, look, what would you like to do?
I'm going to use my action to disengage.
You're going
However,
to disengage?
I'm not going to abandon Neurolos because I'm not that much of a jerk. I'm still going to stand kind of in between.
You're so dead.
I'm going
Fine,
to
you
stand
can
right
go,
beside
you can
this
go.
guy so I can kind of draw his attention away from Petrovich.
Okay. Anything
And
else you'd like
that's-
to do, or just
No,
stand there?
that's all I'm going to do.
Okay.
I did
Alright.
get some healing.
Okay.
Alright.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so for Petrovich, he kind of looks and sees that most of his congregation have gotten inside and calls out to the two of you, "Quickly, inside! Come now,
You
hurry!"
get in.
And he runs in and kind of takes place in the center of his congregation. And those of you who are in there, he turns to them all and says, "Oh, we must pray for the morning Lord to deliver us. It's our only hope. Join hands with me, everyone."
The
And you
morning
can
Lord being Godfrey in the basement.
Little do they know.
Don't stoke his ego.
Okay. So the commoners, they'll kind of shuffle in a little bit together, and you can see they kind of join hands and bow their heads in prayers and kind of mutter to themselves fearfully. But most of them, and Vander, over there, and that'll end their turn. Godfrey, down in the crypt, what would you like to do?
I've just been desperately measuring, and I'll run 25 feet to this square, which I can make it to.
Okay.
And what do I see? What's going on?
So as you get close, you notice that it initially looks like a large kind of stone ancient sarcophagus that you've seen many times in any ruins you've visited, and with this kind of a carved outline of a human figure with a sword laid across their chest along the top. However, along the bottom there is a long rectangular gap, which you kind of might think that's what Father Petrovich told you to stick the bones into.
I will stick the bones in.
You'll stick the bones in. Okay, so
God.
you pass the bundle of bones inside the church, and for those of you outside, all of a sudden the grounds of the church are bathed for a time at least in this golden light that seems to shine down from the heavens. The ground suddenly almost seems to flourish with life for a brief moment, and the vampires that are outside, along their bodies and pieces of exposed flesh, suddenly flare up and erupt in flame, and they begin to scream and yell as this almost holy fire begins to burn them, and they're screeching out
so
and patting out the fire, but they are still standing. They are still out there.
Why aren't there on fire
Yeah.
tokens? Oh.
What do I have here to represent? On
Rico was
fire.
having a nap this week.
I guess this kind of, it's leaves, but it kind of looks like fire.
You get it?
Yeah, that looks cool. Yes, fire them all.
That guy has the fiery snail. Nice.
And I guess I'll end my turn there in my nice crypt.
Nice crypt. Okay, that's not that nice.
It's nice to an outside.
It's an average crypt for what you've seen
That's
before.
fine for me.
Okay, so first of all, for the ones outside, the one first opposite diagonally to you, Nerlos, is going to swing at you, but as it's kind of swinging at you, you see it's kind of cover its eyes with its arm, and the fire is kind of burning up along it, and it's screeching out, but it swings at you nonetheless. So the first attack is a 13.
Miss.
And the second one, oh no, okay, that's 7 total.
Miss.
Okay, so the second one moves around and is also going to try and swing at you. And again, also trying to cover its eyes. First one is that's a nat 1. And then the second is evil. That's a 9 total.
Wow.
Disadvantage.
I think you guys can kind of guess they have disadvantage.
They cannot see shit.
They don't like it.
No, they do not. The ones
Stop, drop, and roll.
run towards you, Lokai, and swing at you. First attack is all right, okay, that's a 15.
Yep.
That hits, okay. From that, you take 10 points of slashing damage as it kind of rakes its claws across you.
You're welcome for that 5 healing.
The second one, first attack is a 7. And the second attack is another 7. Hey.
No.
And then the two outside, those of you who are inside the church can hear their claws bounding up the side, but they screech out, and you can see them briefly flared up against the stained glass around the church. One of them that you can see falls off, and you hear it kind of thud down into the bushes, but the other one, which is moved kind of over here now, suddenly its hand smashes through the church, and this kind of flaming limb just kind of pokes you, and you can hear the people inside screaming out as it lands inside the church, bursting into flames as it does so, but it's still standing. But they do not look good. I will say they are charred and burned and blistered in places, but they're still standing. So, Nerlos, what would you like to do?
Can we disengage here? I might as
Yes.
well.
No, you just bravery run. Don't worry.
I mean, my AC is pretty damn good. I might have the highest or second.
Famous last words.
All right, fine. I'll disengage. I'll be safe.
Okay.
So I will disengage, and I don't know how far distance are. Oh, why can't I? How do I do this? Ah,
Make it show to all. I think.
What are you trying to do? Measure? Like that?
I was trying to. There we go. 30 feet. Cool.
Okay, so you get inside. Lovely. Anything else?
That's all I can do.
That's all you can do. Okay.
I
Lisa.
have no bonus action.
No, okay.
All right.
Lisa, what would you like to do?
I'm going to do the thing that I wanted to do the last time.
Okay, you're going to try and cast Shatter, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
except I'm going to cast it at these 3, the bottom 3 on the map there.
Okay.
I can make a 10-foot cone, but I can't get the 4th
And
one.
before John accidentally puts them out. Fuck.
So just remind me, John, what does Shatter do? What do I need?
So, Shatter is a dexterity saving throw a constitution saving throw from all of them.
Okay.
Sudden loud ringing noise erupts from a point chosen within range. Each creature's 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a con save. Takes 3 die 8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
All right, nice. So the first one gets a 7 total.
That fails.
The one that's Hunter's marked gets a nat 20 and a 6. So,
That fails, I think.
and yeah, it does fail. So, and then the last one gets a 14.
No, kitty.
That's a tie, so you win, I think.
Yeah.
So you save that one.
Okay. So, how much damage do the 2 that failed take first?
That would be 14 damage, thunder damage.
14 damage. Nice. Okay, thunder damage as well.
And then half for the one who's
They're gonna like
thunder.
Thunderstruck.
Okay, so the 2, and they're not moved or anything like that. They're not like thrown about.
No,
right?
it's just
Okay.
a
Okay.
very sharp ringing.
Okay, so as this high-pitched whining goes out along the bottom of the church, they screech out and grasp their ears, and as well as being on fire, they're looking kind of, maybe feel a little bit sorry for them,
No.
No.
All right. Okay.
Roll for sympathy.
Ooh, that
Okay. Ross,
yeah, I see this flaming
yeah, you see
vampire
this one that's just broken through.
jump
the
into
window,
the thingy. So I'm gonna tell the crowd to move,
Okay.
and hopefully they'll move for me so I can get to it.
They kind of press closer together, but it is still quite thick. It would be difficult terrain to kind of squeeze through.
Okay, so how far can
So that
I
would-
go?
So to get from where you are, so that'd be 10.
Yeah,
And then so 10.
I can't even get through them.
So you could get to there with 20 and then get to there total. You see where I'm on this
Yeah.
one. So you get to there.
Okay, I'm gonna move there then, and I'm
Okay.
going to there or there.
There's one more. There you go.
There you go. Okay, great. Okay, let me remove the cat from my firing range first and foremost.
Your firing range. Okay.
My firing range, yeah. And then I'm gonna whip out one of my javelins and hoik it at the flaming zombie.
All right, go ahead.
Some things change, some things stay the same.
Oh yeah.
The Javas never end.
No,
The
no,
Java
no.
hits shall never go out.
Gremlin, please. That's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Sweet. And then I roll this guy. That's crap. 5 piercing damage to
Okay.
that friend.
So you lean back and throw out a javelin, and it kind of scrapes and gouges a deep mark across its arm. But again, it's still kind of flailing around and burning and screeching out. So yeah. Anything
Alright.
else?
I'm shouting cusses at it and telling it,
Okay.
trying to distract it to come.
Holy words or something like
Holy
that.
words!
Yes. Okay. Arnold, what would you like to do?
When I look behind the crowd, I'll ping it on the map. Do I think I could fit an arrow through there?
Well,
Jump!
so if you stood there, if you stood here, and then
Do I
fired an
have a
arrow
line
to
of
there,
sight on the bad guy who's on
Tell
fire?
them to duck.
it would be a very, very difficult shot to make.
Like, do I think that there's a chance I might hit somebody in the
Yes.
crowd?
Yes.
Ah, God.
And you also see Irina standing between you and the vampire. So,
Headshot Irina.
I mean, you can do that if you want. I'm not going to stop.
Campaign over, you know.
Yeah.
John is just like,
You killed the heroine. Good job.
why?
Okay.
Oh god.
Well, I'm sure Rosalind has them.
I'll be
I will-
fine.
I will step a little bit to the left so that I can see around Loci, and I will shoot the 2 guys here that I can see.
Okay, go ahead.
First one, the Hunter's Mark guy. Let's make that clear. That is 12. Probably not. Nope.
That does not hit, no. But did you roll with bless?
Bless. I always forget.
You are blessed.
Oh, that's 4. Is 16?
That
Maybe.
hits.
Nice.
That hits.
Yeah.
Got him.
Got him. Blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Papa
Yeah,
bless
there
this
we go.
shot.
Papa bless.
Okay, I only threw a 1 on the D8 for the hashtag blessed.
Alright, okay, yeah. So there is some divine karma happening. On this.
Yeah. Okay, plus 5 on the hunter's mark, so 8 points of piercing damage to the first one.
Okie doke. So
And
you
then-
fire off a shot and it just pierces straight through and carries on behind it. And then your second shot,
Second shot is a 25.
25, that hits.
Okay. For 4 points of piercing damage.
4 points of piercing damage. Okay. Alright. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Alright, nice. Okay, Lokai, so you're
Right.
outside. Yes.
Would you say that these things are now taking damage?
Oh yes, definitely. You can hear their screeches of pain. They definitely seem to be
Like the damage is sustained. Like it's not like earlier where they're like healing as we're hitting them.
No, the wounds that you have that you have seen them take since they've begun to burst into flames do not seem to be healing, and they also seem to be burning more and more and more the more time they spend on the ground.
All right, I'm going to swing at the one right beside me. On the
Okay.
right. All right,
She's
let's-
angry now.
And don't forget, you are blessed also.
I am blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag rage bless.
19.
19 hits.
Yeah. Let's go. 6 damage. I low rolled.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna do. That's all I can do for now.
That's all you're gonna do. You're gonna stay outside. All right.
Tank.
Okay, so Petrovich inside, he's just going to continue to pray with the congregation. And
Move your people, you dumbass.
Petrovich is also hashtag blessed.
yes, he is blessing in a more conventional sense. The Barovians are also joining in prayer, so they're going to pretty much stay where they are. So Godfrey, back down in the crypt. What would you-
Well, Craig, I would like to briskly jog 25 feet up the stairs.
Okay.
Wait, someone's
And,
holding
You
the
can use your
door for
action to
you.
dash so you can get up to the top faster.
Yeah, I would then like to use my action to dash.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I could go up the top, which I
Boy.
definitely was going to do without Loren's guidance. Thank you, Loren. Anyway, I'm going to dash up here
I played
and
D&D before.
rip back next to Layson.
Okay.
And
Welcome back.
I will
Scare him,
see
scare him.
Layson. I'll just go, did it work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. It sounds like everybody's still dying.
No, that's them. That's them. Don't worry. You did good.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
But except for the one on fire there. You better go deal with that.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Okay. So first of all, the ones. Okay, the ones on the left. The first one that's Hunter's marked is going to move towards Aramil, and let me just check. Okay, as it does so, as it screeches out and runs forward, all of a sudden the flesh of it begins to crumble and blacken and blister, and you can see the bones start to appear between the flesh and it. As it's reaching out towards you, Aramil, it crumbles before you.
Oh, I was gonna say, do I get to hit it because it runs beside me? Dang
Now,
it!
it kind of dies as it passes you. The second one will,
Lokai OP.
yeah, just the very presence of Lokai turned into ash.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, the second one is also going to try and get into the front. So, Lokai, you do get to make a attack of opportunity.
23.
That hits.
Oh, baby. 14 points of damage.
Okay, so that's enough. So as it tries to run past you and screech out, you essentially swing and just catch it in the back of the spine, and you hear a resounding crunch as it screeches out and falls to the ground and continues to writhe in flames until it slowly turns to ash as well.
Get wrecked.
The two outside, oh, get wrecked, eh? All right, okay.
The
The two
DM will
outside-
remember that.
the two outside, the first attack is 13.
Nope.
That's from the bottom one. The second attack is okay, that's 18.
Yes.
Okay, so from that you take 9 points of slashing damages. Its fiery claws just rake across you. And the second one to your right also swings at you And the first attack is that's 17.
Guess.
Okay. Hey, who's getting right now? Eh? That's
Hey.
7 points of slashing damage from the first attack, and the second attack is okay, that's a 7. All right.
Nope.
So that one doesn't hit. The one inside, first of all, let me just check. Okay, as it kind of lands and is hit by this javelin, it's kind of screeching out and rearing, but as it does so, it also just suddenly begins to burn and turn to cinders before you, Rosalind. And it's seemingly...
Damn it. I wanted to kill it.
Well,
Trust me, this is better.
the one outside... Let me just check. Essentially, you hear it screech out, and it comes flying through and shattering the stained glass next to you and lands. It's also wreathed in fire and looks to be in quite bad pain, but it is still standing, and it swings out towards you. Its first attack is that's a 17?
Nope.
That doesn't hit. Oh boy.
Nope.
Okay. The second attack is a 14.
Holy armor, bitches! No.
By the light. Okay. As it tries to swing, you just essentially put your shoulder forward, and its attacks just rebound off it, and seemingly it doesn't do anything else. So, Nero, what would you like to do?
I would like to take a sweet shot at Vampy Boy here.
Sure, go for it.
Bada bing, bada boom. Can I please roll something good? I do get the D4.
You have advantage if you do it in a more Christopher Walken accent. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna do it.
Do it, yeah, do it.
So I have the D4 to add, but I did roll a 1.
All right. Okay. So it's a nat one.
Auto.
That's a nat one.
It's still a natural one.
It's always a fail when you nat.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Sure.
That means I just fuddled my fingers and the arrow just falls in my hand. I'm like, oh. I just pick it up awkwardly and hope no one.
Hope no one saw.
Okay.
That's my turn.
I saw.
All right, Layson, what would you like to do?
I am going to. Can I see either of those spawn?
You can see the kind of flames glowing, and you have a good idea that there's something there. You probably couldn't see it exactly from where you are, but you certainly know there are there.
Can I step onto the body?
Yeah, it's essentially ash. It's like it's no problem.
Can I see him from there?
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to take a shot with my crossbow.
Okay.
The one in the front there. Next
The one
to
in the front. Okay.
I rolled a 2. Total 6.
6. That does not hit as your shot goes wide, I'm afraid.
But just to finish up, I'll look at Loka, look at Loka and just say, "You haven't dealt with these yet? Come on!" And I'll give her bardic inspiration.
All right. Okay, so you are
Sometimes a
inspired.
mockery is is required.
Vicious
lights the fire
inspiration.
under my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you the trophy cup of inspiration. Just
And that's it for me.
okay.
It's a D6, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe yes, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, Rosalind, what would you like to
Or a
do?
D6?
I am swinging at this thing with my sword.
Okay.
All right, I would like to roll decently, please. Ooh, natural 20. Thank
All right.
you.
Nice.
It's a 26. Ha!
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
What does that do for me?
So you
Whatever.
double the damage die.
Oh, nice. Wait, I've forgotten what my D8 looks like. I'm very excited about this.
So
Good
roll
job.
2d8s instead of
2d8s. Okay, cool. That landed on my keyboard, so I don't know what that was. That's 11. No.
No,
so-
just
yeah,
roll your
yeah,
dice
11?
twice and then
Hang
add
on,
your
hang on.
modifier.
Yeah.
You literally
right.
double
So
the dice
rolled,
used.
I rolled 2 7s, so it's 14 plus the 4, so it's 18.
18 total. Okay.
Big damage.
Big damage.
Oh,
Yes. You
that
just
felt good.
make as it
That's a
screeched
lot
out,
of damage.
and you just gouge straight through its kind of blistered flesh, but it's still standing and screeching out within the center of the church. You can hear the kind of low moans of the congregation.
Really? Holy
By
shit.
the holy light.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'm gonna channel divinity with my vow of enmity because I can
Well, I
use a
believe
bonus
channeling
action.
your divinity is it's a bonus action, is it? Okay.
Yeah, the vow of enmity. As a bonus
Okay.
action, I can utter a vow of enmity. So curses be upon you, foul cretin. Yes, and I gain
it.
advantage on attack rolls against the creature for 1 minute or until I don't know why I'm doing this, but I wanted to use a bonus action. So
Okay. All right,
There
well,
you go.
I was the vow of enmity.
I
Okay.
love the idea of calling it a cretin. You fucking idiot vampire.
Okay. I'll give it this kind of angel wings and a halo to show that.
Okay, yeah, so I get advantage. Wait, yes? Yeah, I get
Yeah.
advantage on attack
She
rolls.
gets advantage on it. Yeah.
All right, Aramil, back to you.
Okay. I would like to use my bonus action and move my hunter's mark to the top spawn.
Okay. It's marked.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and step up here and I will shoot the top one
Okay.
for 18.
18 hits.
Okay. That is 12 points of piercing
Okay.
damage on the first one.
That'll do it for that one. So as you fire off a shot, it just passes straight through what you hope to be the creature's heart, and it kind of screeches out and rears back before it turns to ash before you. So the second one.
Is
Mhm.
23
23. Okay, yeah, that hits.
for
Imagine that.
max damage.
All
Oh
right.
wait, no, I lied. But
Wow.
still 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay. So it's still standing. Your arrow pierces through its flesh and it kind of screeches, but it's still standing. So Lokai, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna swing at the one. I'm gonna use my reckless attack, so I'm gonna have advantage on this
Okay.
Use your dice.
because of
Use your
overkill.
Use all your dice at once.
Oh yeah, use the inspiration, all that kind of stuff.
Wow,
Throw the
that's
dice up.
impressive. I managed to roll 2 9s. Good thing I have inspiration and a D4.
Okay.
I have 16.
16. Yeah, that hits.
Got it.
Good job, us.
13 points of damage.
Okay.
We have assembled Tron.
Okay, 13 points of damage. Yes, that gets it. So as you swing your axe overhead, you just cleave straight down to its skull, and it splits apart, and that seems to be the end of it. And it also turns to ash as it falls. So Petrovich and his boys just having a great time in the center there.
Started games of pool.
Yeah, they're playing Monopoly right there.
And then they're gonna wake up and be like, "Oh, look, our prayers have saved us."
So Godfrey, back to you. What would you like to
I'm just gonna run out to make sure Lokai's still alive, and I'll pass my turn, honestly.
do? Okay. So the spawn.
You can see that I'm like, just like.
You're fine. As long as you're breathing.
Okay, so the spawn. Let me just check. Okay, it's going to break away from you, Rosalind, and moves to the closest Barovian it can see and tries to swing at it.
I want to hit it.
Well, it didn't break your attack range.
I
Did it?
did.
No.
Wait, but okay.
Still
So-
fighting.
All right.
So it's going to swing at it, and
Oh god.
okay, the first attack misses. Second attack hits.
I want to use my protection.
Uh-oh.
Hashtag not blessed.
Yeah, you're not 5 feet within
Sorry.
the.
Oh, I'm not. Shit.
No.
Yikes.
Okay, so as this
It's already having
flaming.
disadvantage anyway.
Yeah, so it screeches out and rears, and this poor woman kind of screams out as it does, and it bears down on her and essentially rakes its claws across her face and her chest, and blood spills out, and she falls dead onto the ground.
Well,
Frick.
Oh! I
Hell.
don't think you can heal that, can you?
Then let me just move the token out of the way. She moves closer, but now she has broken range with you, Rosalind. So if you
Yeah,
want to,
I want to.
make an attack
100%. What? Did I roll my d20 again, right?
yeah, it's just an attack.
Yeah,
But
okay.
if you have advantage from that enmity thing, then don't forget to
Oh my
add.
god, you
I
do.
do. I totally do. I get to roll twice.
What such foresight?
16. No, 20.
Yeah,
So-
that
yeah.
hits.
20, otherwise not 20. That's D. No, that's D8. It's your sword, you dumbass. 8.
8 total.
8 points of slashing damage, yeah.
Okay, so you kind of scrape across its back, and as you do, you then thrust straight through, and it screeches out and rears, and that seems to also have dealt with that one.
couldn't keep
Oh.
all the civilians alive, damn it.
Didn't get that achievement. Have to
You
restart.
didn't get the
Yeah,
bonus.
reset. Sorry, guys. Let's go again.
Reload the save.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to save before the fight.
Shit.
Okay, so at the sound of the battle ending, the Barovians look up, and some of them are quietly weeping to themselves, seemingly with fright, and at the sight
One
of
of them's
their
dead.
yes, at the sight of their dead friend. Some of them move to the body and begin to cry and look all around quite upset by it. Father Petrovich kind of stands back from it all and breathes a sigh of relief. Seemingly most of them surviving the night, or the beginning of the night at least. The night is far from over yet. So, what would you all like to do?
I would like to go and look at the body and apologize for not being able to save their friend
Okay.
to them. Yeah.
Out of character, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it could have been worse.
In character, I'd like to head over to the coffin-maker and unshackle him and take my shackles back.
Okay.
If he has them on, check first.
Yeah.
So yes, Rosalind, you would have seen Vander Voort, who sort of been hanging out at the back of the church with his back pressed against the wall, seemingly trying to avoid you seen him. But Nirlo says you spot him and advance towards him. He holds out his hands and he says, Am I free to go?
Well, that entirely depends on whether or not you've told these fine people where these monsters came from.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't. You think this is the best course of action, Nerlus?
It's justice.
Well,
All
I've
he needs to
already
do-
said it.
All he needs
I
to
mean,
do
I'm right next to him.
is admit his part that he played, and if he does that, he's free from my point of view.
Okay.
Meanwhile, me and Loki are just outside like,
Okay, so
I like the Godfrey. I'm like, where the hell were you this whole time?
flights of stairs. There was a crypt.
You need to work on your cardio, man.
You know where everything exploded? Oh, well, the first time was me, but the second time is because I put the bones in and... Yeah. I don't need cardio, I just teleport places, but I couldn't
It
see.
worked, so thanks.
Well, good job at, fending them off. I notice you're the only one still out here, so...
Craig, I have a quick question.
sure.
The coffin maker. So he was basically
Yeah, sorry, I know
forced
you.
to making.
Well, that's what he
making-
said. He
That's
said
what he
that,
said.
yes, just to remind you, he said that he was coerced and Strahd came to him in the night and said if he
Okay.
didn't do what he asked, he would kill him. So with the coffin maker, at your mention, Nerlos, of what he did, some of the nearby Barovians look up and stare daggers at Vander Voort, and a few of them close off towards him and they seemingly jab him in the chest and yell at him and ask him to come clean. And he slowly kind of shakes his hands and, all right, I took the bones. I let those foul creatures into my home, but please, you must understand it. I was forced to do this by the devil himself. Please, don't do anything rash. And I would say at that kind of moment, those of you who are in the kind of the center of the church realize that this may be an opportunity for you to intercede and essentially decide Vander Voort's faith. The crowd looks like they could go either way. Do any of you wish to speak up?
I mean, I would be taking his manacles off and
So you take
saying,
the manacles off.
so I'd say, there, I would like clap him on the back and say, there, doesn't honesty feel better? Now, townspeople, this man has admitted to what he's done. However, you all know what Strahd's like. Can you honestly say that you would not have done the same?
I'm glad you stole the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say exactly the same thing.
12 angry men
We're
on
just
us.
on the same page today.
So some of them kind of shuffle their feet and you see the kind of fire go out of their eyes as they kind of scuff them across the floorboards and try not to meet your gaze. And you can see the occasional solemn nod between them before they kind of mutter lowly and break off from Vander Voort. Some of them still seem to stare daggers at him. But as they kind of move away, he kind of looks at you, Nerlo, and says, oh, thank you for that.
I'm going to plant a firm hand on his shoulder and say, this is justice. Now, I will not always be here, and I'm saying this loud enough that everyone hears. You might want to consider whether or not you should do this again.
I will heed your words. Thank you. and he begins to sort of back out of the church, looking at everyone, before he slowly begins to make his way back outside. So
Before he goes, can I ask him?
Mhm.
I want to ask him a question. Just scolding him for doing it in the first place. You say that Strahd visited you. Was he there physically, or was it an apparition?
I can't say. He appeared to me
How?
in the night. I woke up and he was there, by my bed. Have you ever come face to face with something like that when you're in your gym jams? Oh.
I try not to laugh.
I do laugh.
So you're not sure if he was physically present or...
I didn't think to ask. I wasn't going to.
All right.
He felt real.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Stay out of trouble and help your friends, for Pete's sake.
Of course. And he begins to quickly dash out of the church.
Cool.
Me and
I swear-
Godfrey just see him run out. And we're
Yeah.
like,
I want to go out, like follow him and go to Loci and
Man.
the thing I do. What's it called?
Lay
Have
on hands.
Lay on hands.
No.
Everything about it.
What's
Cure
better, cure wounds or lay on hands?
Lay on
you
hands.
don't need to, because we're gonna probably be resting here very shortly.
Okay, well, it's the thought that counts, and I get it back anyway. So I'm gonna come and heal you, just in case there's
Okay.
another vampire.
While they're doing that, I would actually like to go up to Father Petrovich.
Sure.
And say to him, what was that divine light outside? What was that?
I can only assume that my small friend there restored the bones to the rightful place. I knew there was something about them. They, in some way, enchant the ground here and protect it.
Was
do
it
we know who this Saint Andal or something?
Saint Andrel. No, it's not a saint that any of you would have heard of. No need for a check or anything like that. The name
Okay.
does not trigger anything in anyone's mind.
Okay.
was
Who was he?
Was it the Morning Lord?
No, well, it depends which person you ask, I guess. That's more of a question for a religious scholar than myself. Hard to say exactly where an energy like that would come from, but the bones belong to Saint Andrel.
Just trying to think of some way to have that around more often. Seems useful.
Harness the power of the bones.
I would prefer if you did not try and tamper with them.
I didn't say the character, sorry.
No, I wasn't trying to imply that I wanted to take the bones or anything. I was just trying to figure out where that kind of energy came from. Some things are just, above me, so just curious.
If only you knew a professor of arcane history.
I was gonna say, in the same sentiment, I'd like to walk out of the church after having that conversation and kind of say, like, Godfrey, I didn't
Hello?
think that kind of magic was possible.
Oh yeah, a lot of kind of magic is possible.
But in bones, like, it just seems kind of weird.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty weird magic. Not really my specialty, but there's a lot of documented cases of holy relics. Clerics love them.
And paladins.
And paladins. Well, paladins like hitting things in their name. They don't really understand them too well. But
No, not really. Don't ask me what that was. It was cool and weird, and I'm glad it set things on fire.
yeah, that was interesting.
I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. Let's just say.
Oh, I healed you for 15, by the way.
Oh boy.
Because why not?
Okay. So, as you are all kind of gathering outside the front of the church, you all hear the heavy stamp of feet coming from a little bit further down the road, and you see looks to be a large line of looks like the town guards you kind of recognize from the front gate that you kind of pass, and you've seen them kind of going around the town as well, keeping the peace. But in the middle of them are two figures, and they get a little bit closer. You can get a better look at them. One of them appears to be a man in his middle years with long, thinning grey hair that hangs down to his shoulders. And as he catches sight of you, his face almost fixes into a wide, beaming smile, and he makes seemingly unflinching eye contact with each of you. He's wearing long, dark robes and long livery chains. So that's the thing if you've seen like mayors on TV shows, that sort of thing that they wear over their shoulders. He's got a long, dark wooden cane in his hand, which he kind of gestures towards with his guards that are kind of flanking him. And you can see as well, either side of him are two incredibly large mastiffs, and their dark coats are marred with several nicks and scars, and their faces are heavily lined, and drool seems to constantly drip from their jowls. There's also a figure alongside him. Much larger figure. He's tall, broad-shouldered, and bald, with a large battle axe strapped across his back. His face is fixed in a grimace as he kind of looks out towards the church, and he also seems to catch eye with each of you as you're staring out towards him. His clothing is much darker and looks to be well maintained. Across his shoulder is a thick woolen cape, at the top of which has some sort of white wolf fur stitched to the fabric. And this long
male version of me.
Are you attracted to this?
What?
the long cloak that he's wearing is also kind of tied across the front, and though one arm kind of swings free, you notice the other one is deeply wrapped up and hidden almost within the fabric. And as the figures catch sight of you, you can see more of the guards start to move out amongst the grounds of the church, and the long-haired figure kind of seems to be giving orders of, yes, move out, yes, all will be well. These must be the heroes of the hour. Pleased to meet all of you. I am the Baron of this village, Vargas Valakovich. Pleasure to meet all of you. I believe I owe you a debt of gratitude for your actions this evening. You've done incredibly well.
You've got pretty interesting timing.
Well, all will be well.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So this happens often, I take it, since you're not exactly surprised.
Not often enough that we're used to it. But nonetheless,
Falling for that, I guess.
a happy little town must endure what we're thrown with and have to deal with.
You seem like an awfully jolly fellow.
Well, yes, that's the way, isn't it? You just smile and everything will be all right.
Does he
All
seem like
will be
does he
well.
seem like deranged? Like kind of just like
Make an insight check.
Like a little cookie, like
yeah, like is this
father?
like kind of off-putting, I guess is what I'm
Like
trying
the
to
other
That's
guy
just
we
a
met
good
that was like
British
this?
attitude. What are you talking about?
Like-
Bottle it all up and keep going.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. So taking a look, you kind of looking at the grin that kind of is almost constantly across his face. It almost seems to be fixed there and stamped across it. Almost like that's the natural position of his face. The things he's saying and the words he's using, and also just his gestures, seem to imply that he does truly believe what he's saying, but it doesn't seem to come from a place of wanting to help, just a place of fear, I guess, that runs deep within him.
So he'd say it's almost like forced a little bit.
Yeah, you would get that impression. Yeah,
Like a
I'd say.
pretense.
Especially
It's
with,
his coping mechanism.
yes.
This is fine. This is fine.
Well, good to meet you, Mr. Baron.
Yes. It's nice to meet all of you.
And who is
Who's your
this, if I
friend?
might ask? The really giant guy next to him?
Oh, please, pardon my manners. This is Isaac. Hold on, let me just double check. This is Isaac Strahd. He's my right-hand man. Then he kind of claps him on his shoulder and goes, "Oh, if you'll pardon the pun there, Isaac." The kind of bald figure just kind of looks at him and just kind of stares back towards all of you.
I'll extend a hand to the big guy. Does he break it?
No, he brings out his. Well, it's kind of awkward. You extend. Well, what hand do you extend? He has his right hand bundled up in the cloak and his left hand hanging free.
You can see
Okay.
Locken like doing the maths in his mind.
Yeah.
Right now. He's like,
Yeah, I was like,
Essentially,
wait
just
a
tell me,
minute,
do you want to shake the bundled up hand
Yeah,
or the
no,
free?
I'll extend the left hand, seeing that his right one is
Okay,
bundled.
so yeah, he grasps your hand, and you can feel the kind of deep calluses that cover his palm. But his grip is firm, but he doesn't try and like crush your fingers or anything, any of that tough guy nonsense. But he just releases your hand back to you.
Well, do we have any
I will
other...
introduce myself. I will say hello. I am Rosalind. Nice to meet you.
So yes, the Baron says hello to all of you, and yes, he still kind of has this impression of being a little bit mad, a little bit too happy. And after all the kind of introductions are made, he says, "Well, I must be honest. I am impressed. It's rare that we get people of such heroic nature in the town. Do you plan to stay for long? Perhaps enjoy the festival in a few days' time?
Not exactly
Festival?
sure my choice. We're kind of just passing through.
Well, that is most unfortunate. I may have something you can assist me with.
Oh?
It may be for another day if you're busy, but I'll wait and see how things pan out. If you stay in the town for a little while, my man here, Isaac, will reach out and hopefully we can come to some arrangement.
Well, I think we're gonna stay at the Blue Water Tavern?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
A fine establishment.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
The first thing you could do is give us a free night. That would help us unwind a little.
I'm afraid that is not within my power. You will need to speak to the tavern owner. But if you say what you've done here this eve, I'm sure he would grace you with some poultry meal.
Oh, hey,
Whatever the
Baron, do you know anything about the old windmill?
The
on
old
the
windmill.
road?
Oh, old bone grinder. Can't say I do, no. You just got to put that sort of thing out of your mind. All will be well, after all will be well.
All right.
But
Where can we find you if we need to?
My estate is in the northern section of the town, but I'm not always in. I like to do the rounds and meet the common folk. It's good for them to see me going out and about and keeping up appearances.
well,
Yes.
but what you said earlier, you're the head of the town. You can't just put all this out of your mind, right? I mean,
I can. We have to cope. All will be well.
Do you have defenses in place for this kind of attack? Because it does. Prayers help, but they don't go that far.
We have the local guard. They maintain a level of peace, and we generally avoid the glare of a certain individual. And if things get too tough, we have Isaac here. He can protect us.
Isaac, if you don't mind me asking, what happened to your arm?
I do mind you asking, actually.
Okay. Duly noted. No offense. Yes. Can I take a look at the guards? They're with them, obviously. Are they armed? Do they have weapons?
They all carry a mix of pikes, spears, and short swords. The armor they're wearing is kind of patched leather. Doesn't look very well maintained, but they all have kind of these pot helmet, like upside down kettles, essentially. Not literal kettles, but that's the kind of appearance they have.
When Rosalind said that, can I try to catch a glimpse and try to put it in my mind of what is wrong with his arm? Is that something I can do? Try to piece it together.
No, I wouldn't say. You can just see the arm is bundled up in cloth.
Right.
It's kind of hard to make out any more details or what might be hidden.
Well, Baron, if we wanted to get in touch with you, how would we do that? If we want to help or go to the festival or something.
Well, everyone is invited to the festival. It will be, quite good, yes.
Which festival is it this time?
It's the festival of the blazing sun. You might have seen we were constructing it in the center of town.
I assume you're gonna set it on fire.
Yes, it should be
Hey.
quite a display.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Well, I'm tired.
While they're making small talk, can I look over to Isaac and be like, "Nice axe."
He kind of looks at you and just says, "Thanks."
oof.
Playing
it.
hard to get.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He has a nice axe, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I misheard something completely different.
Yeah, exactly right.
Nice ass.
Hey, Baron, nice ass. I did not say that.
Things take a dark turn.
A saucy turn. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll just say, well, I think I'm gonna be off to the tavern, and yeah, nice
Likewise.
to meet you, Baron.
Yeah, Lokai still owes me a drink.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
it was
that's right.
It was a great pleasure to meet all of you, and remember, all will be well. He says to all of you as you kind
Oh,
of
I certainly
pass
hope
by.
so.
pass by him and walk away. And as you all make your way towards the tavern, why don't we go ahead and take a break here before we get to the
All
next
right.
session? They're good spots.
Okie dokie, we'll be back momentarily.
Oop,
We
wrong
are
button.
live, Krug. Go.
We're live. Okay, so we're back. Yes, we just left the party as they had finished clearing up the church and had met the Baron, and are now making their way to the Blue Water Inn, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Yep. Okay,
Yep.
so you guys pass through the streets, and you can see that by now the sun is set, and a few torches are kind of sputtering along the road, but it's mostly pretty dark out. You don't see a lot of people on the streets. However, one building kind of shines out in the darkness as what you can take to be the Blue Water Inn, which I believe you did previously pass on your way.
We did, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can see that it looks like quite a homely building. Grey smoke issues from the chimney. Looks to be a large 2-story structure. There's a small stables off to one side. It has kind of a stone foundation with sagging tile roofs, and looks to be several ravens perched along the eaves, and a painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall. And as you approach, one of the ravens on the roof calls out at you before fluttering off into the night. Yeah, you guys are standing by the entrance. Would you like to? Would you like to head inside, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna watch this raven skeptically.
Okay, so you watch.
Did I understand what his general intentions were as a ranger?
His general intention was car. Bye.
See ya, nerd.
Okay, so you guys push in through the front door, and you step inside quite a warm and welcoming tavern. There's damp cloaks hanging from pegs just by the entrance, and the tavern itself is kind of packed with tables and chairs with narrow paths meandering between them. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people at them, though. Those that are there seem to be more subdued and quietly nursing drinks to themselves. A long bar stretches along one wall at the far end, and there's a balcony over it that you can see can just be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs a wall off to the north. And there's another balcony that just overhangs the entrance that you've come in, and looks to be there's an entrance that back outside. The windows of the structure all seem to be fitted with thick structures and crossbars, and you get the impression this place might be able to sort of batten down the hatches if things turn sour. But you can see lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables that kind of bathe the room in this dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls. And you can looking at the walls as well, you can see most of them seem to be adorned with wolves' heads mounted on wooden plaques. Standing, or within the bar, you can see there's a woman standing behind the bar itself, as well as two figures with bows leaning at their sides off to one table. There's a few commoners as well, but also Layson and Godfrey. You also recognize Rictavio sitting at a table by himself. Seems to be writing in
My
a small...
boy.
He doesn't seem to
This is
notice.
the playman.
Yes, this was the man who put on the play for the town's
Okay.
children. So,
As we walk in, I look over at Elise and I say, "Why don't you guys go grab us a table? I'll go fetch us some drinks."
Sounds like a plan.
I wanna speak to Lokai as she's walking that way. I'll go with her. Be like, they've got a thing for wolves here. You noticed?
Seems that way. I mean,
Are these? They're not the same size as the ones we fought in the woods, right?
make a perception check
Me? Oh, no, I'm bad at these.
or a nature check, I guess.
I'll do
can I assist her?
Yeah, you can
help
assist.
me,
Yeah,
help me out here. We're both pondering
yeah.
upon this. I rolled a 17.
Okay.
That's about it.
Was that with advantage? Sorry.
I just rolled
That's-
once.
So yeah,
Oh, you're helping me, right?
yes, you get advantage.
What you roll as well? Oh, the next one was worse, so I'll take
Okay.
16.
All right. So
Or 17,
okay,
whatever.
17. Okay. So looking at the wolf's head, most of them, in fact, the vast majority of them seem to be kind of regular size, what you take to be just kind of normal wolves. The occasional one looks to be much bigger, though, and you get the impression that those might have been dire wolves, the same wolves that you encountered on the road in.
I'd like to meet the person that got that one's head. Oh, reference the bigger one.
I've hunted a few wolves in my time, and I kind of motion to my wolf tooth necklace. But yeah,
It's quite a
dire wolves and
collection, I
stuff. There
guess.
seems to be quite a few around this area by the looks of it.
You want to add to your collection?
Maybe later once we, get out of here.
You
But
know what would look really good is if you got 2 vampire teeth to put around your neck as well, if you catch my drift.
Spooky.
aren't you a paladin?
I don't like evil dudes. He's the worst of the lot.
As Justin said earlier, bad man.
Bad man, bad.
When the barbarian is asking the paladin.
Anyway,
I'm just, I want to see evil get its dues, so.
fair enough. All right. I'm assuming we eventually reach the bar.
Yeah, you guys, after this seemingly long journey across the bar, you arrive, and you can see the woman standing behind the bar looks to be middle-aged. She has kind of dark hair, which is shot through with these kind of stark streaks of grey, and her hair is tied back into a ponytail with looks to be several raven feathers tied into it. And she wears a long green dress and has a small white apron pinned to the front. She kind of eyes you up as you approach and says, "Good evening to you. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn. What can I get for you?"
Good evening, ma'am. Me and my party here, we were looking for a round of drinks. Got anything on tap?
It's just wine, I'm afraid. That's all
It'll
we
do.
drink in Barovia.
It'll do. How much?
Well, we have two kinds of wine available. There's purple grape mash, which is kind of the cheaper wine. Or we have red dragon crush for if you're feeling a little bit more expensive. So that's 2 silver pieces for 1 cup of the grape mash and 5 silver pieces for the red dragon.
We'll dine a little fancily tonight. I'll go for the red dragon. Why not?
All right, and how many cups?
For
5.
I guess 5 of us. Yeah. I look at her. I'm like, you want some too?
Do you have any non-fermented grape juice?
No.
Okay.
If you're going to ask for water, dear, you might not. The water, kind of drink the alcohol is my advice.
That's okay. Thank
We'll
you.
find you something later. Yeah, I toss her actually the 5. Actually, you know what? I toss her 7 silver as like a tip on top of that.
Well, that would be 1 cup.
Oh,
So if you
it's
want-
per cup.
Yes, if you're wanting
I thought it was for
5
the group.
cups, it would be.
Pours it
2
back in
gold.
the bottle.
Oh, I'll give her whatever it is. Like.
Okay, so it's 2 gold, 5 silver pieces. So you can see behind the bar these large casks which have little taps in them. Both of them are kind of branded with the names of the wine on them, and she kind of fills up 5 clay cups that she arranges out in front of you, and she kind of scoops up the money and tucks it into her apron, and she just simply goes back to staring off into the distance.
All right, so I grab the drinks and I bring them over to the table along.
I will help.
Rosalind.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I actually wanted to ask Godfrey while Lokai was gone. How did you and Lokai even meet up? He said a while ago she kind of works for you as hired muscle, but
Yeah, like most
He doesn't
slightly
seem like the
confusing
type.
and weird relationships, it started in a bar. I'm joking, but she was looking for work.
Okay.
It wasn't a bar, though. She was looking for
Okay.
work, and I had an interesting proposition. Basically, kill things I accidentally summon.
Accidentally summon?
Yeah, you're doing experiments and casting spells, and sometimes things appear, and you need someone there to hit them. Then eventually she went on field trips with me, and yeah, just researching and gathering resources, really.
Are we back
Fair
at the
enough.
table yet?
Yeah, by this point, you guys have kind of all come together around a small
I'd
table.
say to Layson, I go, "Hey, Layson, you're a man of the comedies, right?
I'd like to think so.
You know
Wrote
something
a few
pretty
in my
funny
day.
I just realized?
What's that?
I haven't seen any gnomes here. I'm pretty sure they all just think I'm a very short wizard. I don't know if they have gnomes here, which makes what they view me as hilarious.
Lokai is a half-orc, right?
Yes.
Okay, I would respond to that saying, well, I also haven't seen any half-orcs, so
Well, I mean, Izek was rather tall.
He was pretty big.
tall.
He was a big guy, but not.
Granted, he's no orc, but,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't see many of my kind in general, even on the normal plane. To be fair.
Yeah.
Godfrey, I think we could make some type of production
Yeah,
about
I'll
this.
have to pitch it to Rictavio later.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I grab the wine and I kind of hand it out to Layson. I'm like, told you I'd follow through.
You go, wait,
I take it.
hang on. I'm gonna hop off the bench at the table we're drinking
Okay.
at, and I'm gonna go up to the bar woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to her, do you sell anything except wine?
We sell food if you're hungry.
Huh.
Beds for evening as well if you need it.
How many types of wine do you sell?
Just the 2 types, I'm afraid.
Oh. Alright. Does anybody sell more?
No,
Who do you buy them from?
there's a brewery down the road that we get them all from. The only one in the country, really.
Right. I'm gonna check my notebook. Or my spellbook where I keep notes, which I probably shouldn't do, magically irresponsible. But I'm gonna just stare at the clue that we have that says the Wizard of Wines. And I'm gonna step back over and go, would you describe yourself as a wizard of wine?
No, but it's funny you make a mention of that name. That's the name of the brewery.
Oh.
How would you know that? You seem kind of fresh in town.
Oh no, I'm a wizard myself. It's a compliment, right? Like, hey, you're a wizard of cooking. I don't know. I'm just making conversation.
You haven't even tried my cooking, though.
No, I said about wine because you were
I'd like
you
to
were
try
saying that
it.
you were saying that you sell more wine than anyone else. So I said, hey, you're like a wizard of wine.
Oh, I get what you mean. Aye.
He's
I
a
didn't mean
wizard
to
of
cause offense. I apologize.
No,
I
I'm
wasn't
not
being-
offended. It's just a strange thing to say.
I'm a
isn't it?
little peculiar. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression.
Yeah, have people like me here, by the way?
Do you mean wee folk?
Ah, yeah, sure. The less beardy ones, though.
The less beardy. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's the lesser, like the not so wee folk who have big beards, and then there's the weir folk like me who I have a beard, but not of the same caliber.
C plus beard.
Killing it.
Yeah, he's the wizard of pickup lines.
Yeah, I'm the wizard of light conversation.
She says to you, we have short folk, but you're probably one of the shortest I've seen. As for
Well, I'm quite tall for my kind, so.
As for this talk of beards, some of them have beards, some of them are big, but I don't quite understand what exactly you're questioning.
That's all right. Just making conversation.
Aye, you're maybe a wizard of that, I guess.
Thanks. A wizard of taking things at face value. All right. Anyway, thanks. Where's that brewery, by the way? I'd like to compliment them on their wine.
It's out west away, but it's a few days' travel to get to.
Oh, it's not in Valaki?
No, it's
Oh.
it's deep along the road. It would be.
Why is everything deep in forests and roads here? Ugh. All right. Well, thank you, though. Maybe I'll visit it.
Aye, maybe you will one day. Aye.
I think my friend was hungry, by the way. I'll gesture back to Rosalind.
Bring me food.
You want food?
Yeah, I want food. I'm gonna get up and go like, what do you sell here?
We got 3 things on the menu, and I will tell you the menu does not change.
Okay.
We've got wolf steak and tatties. We've got oatmeal,
That is-
and we got boiled roots and tubers.
Only I know what that is.
Yeah.
Mate.
For those of you uneducated in the Scottish dialect, tatties is slang
Potatoes?
for potatoes.
Yes.
Potatoes.
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 Yeah.
Boil
I'll
and
try
mash them,
the-
crog them in a
I'll try the
stew.
wolf thing.
Wolf steak and tatties. All right, that's
Yeah.
gold for that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And she kind of,
I'll go wait for my food, I guess.
yeah, she
So I
kinda
hope
walks
it's not
off
just
into-
like, ching.
no, it's not quite as quick as that. But she kind of busts off into a back room. Seems to be the kitchen.
Cool. I'm gonna try some wolf meat. Mm.
Ugh, I'm down in my drink because I've had a rough day.
I try to not make eyes, but I try to like see if the hell's his name, Rectavio is noticed that I and Godfrey have walked in.
John-
John's that
John's
guy
just
at the
leaning
bar
back
that like
like-
constantly looks to see if you
Yeah.
look back at
Do
him.
I know anyone here? Do I know anyone? That sort of thing.
He's just
So you
like-
kind of. You kind of look over to him, and his head's kind of bowed over a journal. But as he sort of feels your eyes on him, he kind of looks up and meets your eyes, and he kind of gives you a small wave before looking back down to his journal.
Rejected.
No, that's fine. He was incredibly talkative before. I'm surprised he didn't shoot up and come talk to us again.
Seems to be working on something. Speaking of
Mm,
which, I found a clue to do with one of our clues. Depending on how
Yeah.
much stock we want to put in the Vastani woman's guidance, I think I have a lead in one of the
Yeah.
directions.
Two of all of us, she can't be that unreliable.
Well, also, she seems like the only person we've met so far who actually wanted to help us, right?
This is true.
What was your clue?
Well, they told us to look for the Wizard of Wines for a powerful force of good and protection, if you remember.
Correct.
Well, apparently that's a brewery a few days down the road to the west.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah, apparently, in wood and sand, the treasure hides there. That's what I've got written down here. It sounds to me like it's buried beneath the building? In the
Yeah.
building? Maybe
A
they've got a
cellar,
beach
maybe?
out the back. I went to a tavern like that once.
Maybe you said it's not in the city, right?
No, it's a few days travel to the west.
Might be somewhere someone might hide something.
That would seem to be what the clue indicates. Yep.
Is that the opposite direction of the kids?
That's the opposite of east, yeah.
I didn't remember where it was.
I mean, obviously we
was
save the
too
kids
busy
first.
fighting.
If this is being hidden and
This is
hidden
a clue,
and
yeah.
yeah,
we'll
like
investigate
it's
later.
doesn't really sound like it's going anywhere, does it?
Fair.
Obviously we're gonna help, kids first.
Is that what we're doing tomorrow then?
Yeah, I would
Fair enough.
assume if you guys are still in for it.
Yeah, certainly. I think that seems to be, a priority. Maybe we should, maybe Rick Tavio would know something. What do you think, Layson?
Yeah, he seems to know quite a bit about the
Disappearance?
folklore of the area. Even if it's through stories, he might be a good person
Well,
to
he's the
talk
one
to.
who told it. He's the one who told the story about the bone grinder.
Well,
Do we
he
invite
told
him
a
over?
story about, non-specifics. I think deliberately to not, attract attention. But
But I
Yeah.
mean,
It
I'm just
seems
saying
to
he may
be-
know something.
they say, it's probably based in truth. So
Maybe
Why
we just
don't
invite
you
him
guys
over.
go take a talk to him?
I will
Sounds
go
like
and
a good
take my
idea.
best talk to him.
Okay.
I will go as well.
So, is it just Layson and Godfrey you are going over to speak with Rick Tavio?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
grab
I'll
Niralos
go.
while they're doing that. I'm gonna be like, "You're good at sweet talking, right? Let's see if we can get some free rooms.
At what point did you think that I was good at sweet talking?
You're a good orator, much better than I am. So come help me."
I'll lean over to Luke.
As the bard walks away from the table.
Old smooth talker Niralos.
I've seen Stranger Things. Let's put it that way. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing today.
You did well in the church. Come on, help me.
Sure.
Okay. Right. So we wander off to go do that.
Okay, so we'll do the bar encounter first.
Oh, okay.
So, just because I think it'll be a little bit quicker.
Okay.
So
I wanna
as
Is my
so-
food there?
as you approach, you see the same barwoman come out from behind the kitchen, and she kind of comes out back first, holding a plate, and she says, "Oh, there you are. So that's the wolf steak and tatties there for you.
Thank you.
Husband made it. I hope you enjoy it.
Looks delicious. Thank you very much.
It doesn't look that delicious,
Well, I'm
but yeah, I
I'm
understand you're being
blowing
polite.
smoke.
Yeah.
It's fine. So I was wondering, I don't know if you perhaps heard what happened to the church today.
I heard yelling from down there. One of the patrons mentioned something about being attacked.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
were these vampires, and they just came flying over the rooftops, and we actually my party and I we fought them off bravely, and we put them down. I'll say, Neralos, help me out here.
How would you like to? Would you like to help out in any way,
You
Niralos?
can't summon Niralos like a Pokemon. That's not how he works.
Choose you.
I have,
Niralos, use charm.
as someone with a 10 charisma, so a 0 mock, I don't pick up that she's waiting for me to say something. I'm waiting for the bar woman to say something.
Okay.
So
Okay,
You
so
guys
she.
just awkwardly staring at each other.
So well, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and as you can tell, my party and I are rather worse for wear, and we could really use a place to stay tonight if you perhaps had rooms available.
We do have rooms available. It's 1 gold each to stay in them.
Would it be possible to get a group discount?
Make a persuasion check.
This is gonna go bad.
It's not a Groupon. We
I'm trying.
Into the till, she'll.
Oh crap!
she'll
It's
fly.
12.
It's 12. She kind of looks and says, "Did you say you dealt with the vampires that attacked the church?"
Yeah, we kind of single-handedly killed them all.
Yes.
That wasn't mighty brave of you.
Thank you.
Not many in Valaki would do such a feat. I tell you what, I have the rooms for the night for free as a thank you. But
Thank
how
you.
many is it? 6 in your party?
Yes.
So we got 2 rooms with 2 beds, and then 1 room with 4 beds. So what would you like?
Well, we'll take the one we can all fit in, I guess. So could we have the 2 and then the 4?
A 2 and a 4. Oh,
Yeah.
that's no problem. And she kind of reaches beneath the bar and places down 2 keys, and she says, "All right, so that's up the stairs, and then right around the balcony. Then there's those 3 doors there you want." And she kind of points to 2 of the doors that you would assume. are the
Thank you
bed.
very much. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
One moment.
You did
Do you have a
great.
name?
It's Danica Markov.
Danica Markov. Pleased to meet
Martikov.
you. Martikov.
Yes.
Martikov.
Yes.
Pleased to meet you. And thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
As I walk away, I'm like, you were a fat lot of use, weren't you?
If you had brought the bird,
World's
I
most
would
rolled
abusive paladin.
As I said, at no point should you have thought that I would be helpful in a social situation. At the church, I merely spoke the truth.
Right, fine. I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Its mere presence allowed you to
Yeah.
sway the lady.
I'm gonna eat my dinner.
Okay, so for the wool steak and tatties, they're mostly mashed up. They're not really that well cooked. The potatoes, that is, not the wool steak. They have it's kind of lumpy and undercooked in places, but it's okay. The wool steak itself is very tough and stringy, and there's like veins of fat that run through it, but it fills you up at least.
Yum.
It's a generous description for it.
Delightful.
Delightful.
When that's a generous description, that's not good.
Yeah.
Cool.
For Godfrey and Layson, who are moving over to Rictavio. So yeah, you guys approach, and as you get closer, he kind of looks up from his journal and shuts the cover and says, "Ah, my friends, how are you?"
Yeah, it could be better. We just had quite a run-in with some undead things.
Ah, foul beasties, was it?
Yeah.
Did you take care of the buggers?
Well, luckily we're still alive, so yeah, we did.
Well, they were dead in the first place, so you kind of had an advantage there, I guess.
That's a smart way of looking at it. Hey,
What's up?
speaking of having an advantage, we're gonna go to Old Bone Grinder tomorrow.
Oh, best of luck to you then.
Yes, appreciate it. But also, I thought you might know some things that might, lessen the odds of dying.
Yeah, is there anything in that story that you did today that you omitted because of there were children around?
No, I told it as it's supposed to play out. The children break the coven and escape. A happy ending for all, but it's not always the reality, is it?
No. And we think there might be kids there against their will. So anything you know to help would be pretty useful.
About the old bone grinder specifically?
Yeah. Or, the
Or
people
the
who might...
crones.
Yeah.
Well, I can't make a persuasion check.
All right.
Can
Can I have
And you can have advantage because there's 2 of you. Yeah.
Can Layson roll it?
Listen, go for
I
it.
rolled a
Larry.
25.
At 25. All right. So as he kind of pulls you a little closer and says, "Well, if you are going there, you've made mention of crones, several. Do you know there's more than one at it? I've never been, so I can't say. I've just heard talk of it.
We're pretty sure we've met at least one, but
At
I
least
can't
one.
imagine she's the only one.
But what exactly do you think they are?
Well,
Seemingly an old
know-
woman with magic, but does that mean she's hiding something?
Well, we found a couple of parents addicted to those pies whose children have gone missing. Now, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, but it seems like it might be some sort of, stupor induced so that the kids could be whisked away.
Easily scooped.
Well, you're almost there. The sad reality is that these people who enjoy these pies, they become addicted to them in the most foul ways. They sell everything they own to pay for them, till they're left with nothing except their children. And the final thing, it is said, that the hag will ask for is the child. What they do with them, I don't know. But it's likely.
I would just like to note, Godfrey would notice this very, like, it's not well hidden at all. This, what he's saying is like affecting Layson to the core. Like he is, you could see his demeanor just be like,
Layson is upset.
yes.
Layson disliked that. He is now sad. Engage tears.
Well, yeah, that's horrifying. What happens to the parents once they can't afford any more?
They fight, squabble, steal what they can to feed their addiction, until the town guard eventually are forced to put them down. It's a sad tale that plays out several times.
So I assume it's in everybody's interest getting rid of these people.
Well, here's a thought. The pies, for what they are worth, do bring happiness, although it's not real happiness. They keep the townsfolk docile and let them escape for a time. Now, I'm not saying what the cause of it is not evil, but there is a way of looking at it that maybe it's better the devil you know.
You could also look at it in the way that maybe the people here shouldn't be so docile.
That is another way of looking at it, certainly.
Do you know of anybody who's been there before?
No. One man whose wife was addicted, he went out to track down the children and try and return them, but he never returned himself. Those who go to Old Bone Grinder don't often come back.
Yeah, well, judging by the magic in the pies, they're pretty, well, at least in enchanting, they're pretty powerful mages. Or mage. I would assume there's more than one, simply because we met one, and it doesn't seem like the kind of operation they'd leave unguarded, right?
It's hard to say. I've only heard talk of the one.
Perhaps there is only one. Well...
We need to save them.
I guess we gotta go there.
As quickly as we can.
Before you go, how about something to brighten the mood?
Like what? If you suggest a pie, I'm not gonna be amused.
No.
Yikes.
I've been working on a poem, and I would like some input, especially from yourself, Layson. You have the creative gene, and I would be keen to get your thoughts on it. Something of a limerick, if you'll allow me to dazzle you with it.
Absolutely.
Very well. And he kind of flips open his journal and flicks through the pages until he comes to one, and he holds it up in front of him and he says, There was a man with no legs named Fillmore Stunk, who could drink whole casks of wine without getting drunk. He traveled the lands on a quest to search for a drink he could ingest, one that he hoped had been fated to get him inebriated. Brave Fillmore came upon a roadside seller who promised him a beverage that was stellar. Fillmore clapped his hands with glee. Fortune had smiled upon he. But despite what the merchant had implied, the drink was actually formaldehyde. Fillmore grabbed a glass and downed the brew, which turned his insides all askew. His eyes grew wide and his skin turned grey, and poor Fillmore met his end that day.
That is.
What do you think?
That is surprisingly great. It's dark. It's definitely dark, but
macabre humor is generally what works best in Barovia. If you were trying to entertain the people, you will learn that quickly.
Absolutely. That was fabulous. I was like that. It's like I wrote it.
Well, I did.
What'd you base that on?
Just stories you hear as you pass through Barovia. All sorts of strange folk inhabit this place. I've heard tell of a giant man-eating plant even that has the most remarkable singing voice, if you can believe it.
At this point, honestly, I can. I believe it.
Yes.
Honestly, I'd be interested to know what other weird stories you happen to have with the kids and the crones. It seems like maybe these stories have a more validity than we think we do.
They are fantastical in nature, but you could be right. I will keep my eyes open for you, Layson, just in case we do happen to need to rely on the older tales.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for telling us what you know.
You're more than welcome. Best of luck to you. I hope I'll see you again.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'm probably gonna head off and go to bed at this point.
You don't know that there's bed.
I didn't want to interrupt. When Rosalind got up and Nearless left, and it was just me and Lokai at the table, I was actually gonna say to Lokai, it was just the two of us. It's not very often that I run into a half-orc that isn't trying to, cut me in two.
Kill you?
I served along a half-orc, but usually they were on the other side. Where you and Godfrey are from, is it more common for half-orcs to be less aggressive? Well, you're pretty aggressive. I don't know if that's the right word. Words fail me here. Help me out. Less.
My kind certainly has a reputation for a good reason. But I mean, humans are just as bad as half-orcs sometimes,
That's true.
So I mean,
I guess.
Sure, there are some that are bad, but most of them are not exactly set up in the best circumstance to start with, right? We're villainized from birth, so.
I guess I probably worded that question pretty poorly, tripped over my own feet a bit. How did you end up with Godfrey?
Oh, that pipsqueak?
Rude.
Essentially, more or less, he was looking for muscle and I was looking for work. I was just traveling around, basically for hire, and he had a pretty sweet gig and just needed me to hit things, and sure enough, that's all I needed to do, so it worked out for both of us.
Fair enough.
Plus he's short, so I reach on top of things, like I said before, for him.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta hide the really interesting magical items on the top shelf so we can't get to them.
Sometimes I do it just to piss him off. It's pretty fun.
I'm telekinetic and I can hear you.
You're in conversation. Go to the play.
I think he's watching me somewhere.
He's just under your bench the whole time.
I have so many ways of turning invisible. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, we just ended up by chance. Shit happens, and here we are.
Here we are, indeed.
So I'm assuming by that point the others are kind of starting.
Yeah, everyone's kind of gathered around the tables, that sort of thing.
I'm coming back rather triumphantly.
Well, I'm going to bed.
I'm assuming we got rooms.
Yes.
Nice.
We have rooms, but we have to share. So there's a room with 4 beds. There's a room with 2 beds. Who wants?
I'm getting my own room. I'm going to go up to the bar.
Okay.
I should have told you he would have probably done that.
Well, fine. See what I
I'm
can.
130. I'm not sharing my bunk with you lot.
Well, I'm gonna flick the key.
You're gonna have to, because
I'm gonna flick the key to the 4 room to them and be like, "Good night." Off I go.
I'm gonna go and buy a room if there is any.
Okay, well, you see the barmaid behind the. Okay, let's just do it. Yeah, she offers you the last room as 1 gold. But as I mentioned of the party that you're with, she says it's free.
Okay.
She gives the last room. So
Before Godfrey can walk away, I kind of hail him over and I ask if I could. Can I borrow just a piece of parchment and a quill?
Yeah, sure.
I
Fortunately for you, I have the rare equipment of a scribe's pack.
Amazing.
Bet you don't know what's in one of those, because I sure don't. Let me check. I would imagine it has.
You would hope, wouldn't you?
I would imagine it probably has. Yeah, it's got. I've got some parchment. There you go. Do you need a quill and ink? I've got that.
Yeah, unfortunately, all I have is a entertainer's pack.
Yeah, I will give him enough for writing.
It's a bunch of
stuff.
beer and a loot.
It's actually 2 costumes and one to
A
make
party
one.
hat.
Okay.
Fucking cosplayer pack. I'll give him enough writing equipment to write like a.
Okay.
I'll just give him my stuff. But
Okay. Take what you
Thanks.
need, sort of thing. Okay.
Thanks. And I'll go to bed as well.
Okay, so yeah, you all make your way upstairs. So so it's Godfrey and Rosalind are going to the rooms by themselves with the 2 beds, correct? So
Yeah.
for you guys, the rooms which you enter are pretty much identical. It's just 2 cozy beds with matching footlockers that rest in the far corners of this 15-foot square room. Wolf furs are draped atop each bed. Between the beds, a lamp sits on a table under a shuttered window. There's 2 tall black wardrobes standing by the walls. And for the rest of you entering the 4-person room, it's 4 plain beds with straw mattresses that line the north wall of this well-lit room. Each bed comes with a matching footlocker at the base of it to store clothing and other belongings. And you see there's a table with 4 chairs occupying the corner of the room. And there's also an oil lamp resting on that table that casts a bright yellow flame.
Lokai, are you just gonna let her room by herself? You don't care that you're both ladies?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest before Godfrey.
I, for one, don't care.
I, for one, enjoy it.
Let's
That's
put
a
it
bit
this
creepy.
way.
Listen, you're exactly like I imagined you would be.
I've been a merc for hire. I've slept in far worse conditions. Don't worry about it.
All right.
I know how Godfrey is. He always wants his damn own room. I'm used to it. I just kind of like lay on the bed and pass out, basically.
Okay. So does anyone want to do anything in particular before they go to bed? Or are you all just bedding down for the evening?
I'm changing out a spell, but nothing too dramatic.
Okay,
I
no.
clean my weapons, then sleep.
Okay.
I am going to pray and possibly prepare another spell, but I don't know which one yet.
I study my spell book and refresh myself on the workings of chromatic orb. So add to my spells.
I want to write that letter.
What letter? Oh, did you paste it in Roll20 or something?
No, I just want to write the letter that I had in my backstory.
The letter.
Oh, right. Okay.
The letter.
The letter, Greg, come on.
Okay.
Come on.
So you write the letter.
The letter. And then I'll go to bed.
Okay. So you all bed down for the evening, and your night's rest is relatively uneventful, apart from the occasional bad dream that plagues you with the horrific and horrible things you've seen over the past few days, but nothing too substantial. No prophetic dreams for any of you, until you wake up the next morning, refreshed and completing a long rest. So what would you guys like to do?
I go downstairs for breakfast because I'm
Sure.
starving.
Okay.
Same.
So yeah, we'll quickly just bash through this. You guys, breakfast is given to you free. It's oatmeal, wolf steak, and potatoes, or
I'll have the
boiled.
oatmeal this time.
Okay, so you guys get given breakfast again. It's not that great. You're offered wine with breakfast if any of you want it.
Yes.
Sure.
Breakfast is great for me because I have prestidigitation.
Okay, the oatmeal that you're offered is quite so. Apart from the rest of the news, oatmeal is delicious. Everyone else's is quite bland. It seems that they season it with merely a sprinkle of salt.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys are all gathered around the breakfast table. What would you like to do?
All right, ladies and gents, I suppose we should head off to Bone Grinder as soon as we can because we don't want to wait too long.
No, let's get going as soon as everyone's ready to. Those beds are quite comfy, actually. It's surprising.
Not bad. It's nice to actually have something to sleep on.
Yeah.
All right.
Make haste. We got places to be.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Certainly do.
All right, so you guys make your way out of the tavern and back onto the streets of Valaki and begin to make your way out east along the road. During your travels through the town, you do pass the town square, and you can see that looks to be Isaac Strasny once again in the town square, and he kind of glares at you as you all walk by. So again, just to remind you, that's the bald guy with a battle axe.
I give him the eye on the way by.
He gives
Gonna
all of
creep
you
you out.
the eye as you all pass through the town. And you can see he's directing guards who seem to be putting up new posters over the old ones, which previously advertised the Wolf Festival, or the Wolf's Head Jamboree. And that same guy is still in the stocks, the paper mache donkey's head on it. And it also looks like construction has progressed very slightly in the large wicker sun that's in the center of the town. But you guys just keep on passing through.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on
Yeah.
trucking. Okay.
Yep.
So you guys head towards the east gate, and you see the same guard who you first encountered as you arrived. And he says, "Well, you heading back out then?
Looks
Yep.
to be.
Yeah.
All right. Remember, back before sundown. You're not getting in."
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, so he kind of cranks open the gate and ushers you all out and then swiftly closes it behind you. And you guys, I assume, make your way along the road back towards Old Bone Grinder.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you travel along the road. The journey's not that eventful. You pass by, once again, that lake that seems to just be to the northeast of the town of Valaki. It's very large, and you can see it's kind of ringed around the edges by this dark and deep forest. But you pass along the bank of it for a while until eventually you round a bend and you travel along the road for several hours back towards the fork in the road that would lead to Old Bone Grinder. Is there anything you guys want to do along the journey, or are you all just chit-chatting?
I would cast my mage armor. That's the only thing.
Mage armor, okay.
I think so.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for danger along the road, as I traditionally do.
Okay, if you want to make a perception check for me. And you can have it. Well, Rosalind just said she'd help, so you can have advantage.
13, 17.
17, okay. So keeping a good watch out. Oh,
No,
Sorry,
you
go ahead.
first. You first.
me first? All right. So keeping a good watch out. You don't see anything that seems to threaten the party. The occasional bird flies through the sky, but mostly the journey is uneventful in terms of anything threatening. So sorry, Lachlan, what were you going to ask?
I was actually going to ask if I do see any animals along the way, like birds or anything of that nature.
There's some flying high up in the sky, seemingly migrating to other parts of the country. But there's nothing, you don't see any small woodland animals, cute little squirrels, anything like that in the trees nearby, anything that you could hope to potentially talk to. That's what you're asking.
No cute little squirrels. Why do I even play anymore?
All hope is
Yeah.
lost when the cute
Yeah.
little squirrels are absent.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys travel along the road until you eventually come back to that familiar fork in the road, where there one path leading back towards the village of Barovia, one path leading where you came from, the town of Valaki, the other path leading down towards Old Bone Grinder. And you
Is
guys,
this where the hangy noose thing was?
no, that was a
No.
little bit further back.
Ah, right, okay.
That crossroads had
There's no scarecrows, right?
no, not that you can, not that you can see.
Thank God.
It's just the path leading down towards this very sorry-looking windmill. You can see just in the distance.
2 bone grinder then.
Let's go.
I love the name. It's so reassuring.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I keep chuckling
Sure,
because
good things happen here.
I can't help but imagine a wrestler's name being Bone Grinder, and every time
Bone
I say
grinder is
Bone
ready.
I got it. That's Bone Grinder's music. We're all so dumb.
Yeah, we're all gonna
It's gonna
die.
kill
Let's
us
go.
all.
Let us.
We're
Okay.
gonna get beaten up by a windmill. Woo! Let's go.
Okay.
The windmill
Maybe.
spreads arms.
Windmill slap.
Oh, that's pretty loud.
Ooh.
Let me turn that down.
It
Sorry.
also sounds super
Powerful
not-
music.
Ominous. I'm scared.
Yeah. It's not like the track's
I'm
called
always scared.
Mind Scrape or anything like that.
Oh God, it is.
So, as you make your way along the road, the mist seems to be much thicker that kind of blankets around you, but mostly the ground around here looks to be clear of any sort of thick forest. It's just this kind of wide open grassy plain that leads slowly and windingly up towards the entrance to Old Bone Grinder. So it's this onion-domed edifice that leans forward into one side as though trying to turn away from the stormy grey sky overhead. You can see grey brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors, and there's a decrepit wooden platform encircling the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior. Perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven. It hops about and squawks at you, seemingly agitated as you approach. And you can also see off to the side of the front door is a familiar-looking wheeled cart. And then just off to one side of the windmill itself, on a slightly lower patch of ground, amongst some tall grass, you can see what looks to be 4 large standing stones arranged in a half circle. That's a little bit away from Old Bone Grinder.
That thought
No,
looks
just a
familiar,
sec-
you guys. Sorry.
I was gonna say, just a side note, these ravens give me the creeps. I feel like they definitely report to Strahd or to this creepy lady. They
I was gonna
report to
say-
someone. They seem too smart.
Do they look like? Is there a way we can like put a marker on one of them? I don't know. How good are you with a
I mean,
blow
Nirlos
dart?
could shoot one, maybe.
But Rosalind, try to catch one for me.
Where's my javelin? Give me. Oh, well, I won't catch it. I'll kill it. So, I don't know.
I mean, technically, I could hunter's market for an hour, but it's
This whole
what
place
use
is
that?
creepy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
those
true.
birds.
Even feels like the forest and the fog is watching us in times.
Yeah.
I don't think I can hunter's mark the fog, so
Can you imagine?
I cast magic missile into the darkness.
Why is there a giant snail in the fog?
It's just like Godzilla coming through.
All right. What do we see? Okay, so we see the cart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the
How far
cart.
is the cart?
It's just literally almost leaning against the side of the structure itself. It's right
Right.
by the entrance.
So I commented on him like, that looks mighty familiar, doesn't it?
So
I was
then-
gonna walk.
are we
I was
gonna
gonna
kill
walk
an old
towards
lady
it, but I don't know how
to
far away it is.
listen, Nirlos. We'll decide on the moment.
What did
It
you
seems
ask?
creepy, but normal. But looks like we're probably gonna have to kill an old lady.
Well,
Well.
can I go towards the cart?
You can, yeah. So you make your way towards the cart. The raven squawks at you a few times as you approach before
Bird.
Yeah.
it calls one last time almost angrily at you before it flutters off quickly into the sky.
I don't like you either. So yeah. So once I get to the cart, can I just take a peek, see if I can see anything in the cart?
Yeah, sure. You lift the lid. If you want to make an investigation check for me.
There's hundreds.
Keeping
and
my
hundreds
eyes out
of
for
pies.
danger.
Hmm.
7.
7. Okay, looking inside, you don't find anything. There's no pies sitting inside it. There's a few bundles of pale white cloth that you've seen the pies wrapped up in, that sort of thing, but that seems to be it.
Nothing else.
No. And then there's those 4 standing stones just off to your right as well. That's a little bit further away.
Yeah, I'll take a
What do you
peek
think-
at those
yeah.
if they're not like, I don't have to go like super far away.
It would-
I'll go with you. I'm curious.
they're about 100 feet or so away
Oh,
from you.
really far.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we check them out as a group just to be safe.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm not
100
going to
feet's
stand
kinda
here on my
far.
own.
Yeah,
so-
we can all trot over there.
Yeah.
Right on.
I
I
trot.
agree. standing very close to Rosalind.
I have protection.
Okay. So you guys approach the 4 standing stones. Okay. So as you approach, you can see that these 4 stones look to have stood there for quite a long time. They look heavily weathered, and moss and ivy grows across each of them. But carved into the upper face of each stone are 4 images. Well, an image in each one, so 4 images total. And crudely carved into each is the image of a city. But each stone seems to show a different season. The leftmost stone shows a city of sharp structures constructed in ice, with a blanket of snow over it. The next one seems to display a city of flowers and growth, with buildings surrounded by vines. The third has a large sunburst overhead, shining down on the city below, and the final stone looks to be a city of withered trees and fallen leaves. Atop the autumnal scene, you can see there's a raven, looks to be pecking at something. And as well as that, looks to be a small, pale, white mound in the center of the stones.
White mound? Like a.
Just like something.
Okay.
But you're not quite close enough, and amongst the tall grass, it's hard to make out exactly what it might be.
Bro,
This
can
is
I
like
start just ritual casting Detect Magic on the stone? Well, it's not on something, but I'll cast Detect Magic. As a
Just
ritual.
around you, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that's how it works anyway. It just lights
Yeah, it's a
things up, doesn't it?
radius, yeah.
I'll
Okay.
slowly get closer, but while being on kind of guard, I guess.
Yeah, same.
I would
Okay.
like to activate my divine sense as well, just in case.
Okay, so can you remind? So divine feet sense is 60 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, 60 feet. If it's something's evil, it stinks. If it's good, it sounds great.
Okay,
Just
divine sense doesn't pick up anything of a good or evil nature.
Okay.
But getting a little bit closer, you can see the raven on top of the stone. Looks to be pecking it. Looks to be a dream pastry or a dream pie that you've seen before. And in the center of the stone circle is a small pile of teeth, and looking at them, look to be infantile in
Oh,
some.
I was gonna
Oh
say.
God.
Good.
That's creepy.
Can I see, like, do they look like human teeth or like?
Yes.
Okay. Shit.
Well,
How
it's just went from
character-
bad to worse.
Is it a stretch for me to recognize the city with the sun and the city of autumn being the two towns?
With the towns of Valky and Barovia or anything like that? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, because
Um,
the sun would make sense to me with the imagery, and then the autumn one makes sense because everyone's fucking sad there.
No, I understand. I see where you're coming from, but they don't seem to represent any of the villages or towns you've come through. They look. It's almost
the
like
shape different.
yeah. It doesn't seem to have any recognizable features or structures. It looks more like a graphical representation of a city, but not a specific city. If that makes sense.
Wait, do they all look the
Are they all
same?
the same?
Just
No, they
different
look. They look. The layout of the structures looks different,
Okay.
as well as the different weather or seasonal changes that they have.
I wonder where
But
these
you still see
places are.
the children teeth.
Yeah.
So we should get going. Probably kick in the door.
Let's find Granny.
We're gonna kill all.
I
Do I see-
I want to stay here.
Sorry, I was gonna say, do I see any other like tracks, markings, anything else that would like, I guess, say that like somebody's been around?
You should make a survival check to search for tracks.
Natural 20.
Natural
Nice.
20. Okay. Taking a good look through, you do see
I'm
that
proficient,
several tracks lead back from here towards the windmill. And it's a well-traveled path between them. But the footprints look to be human in size and shape. But
No, let's go-
the tracks sort of overlap, and it's hard to make out a specific number of, if that's what you're looking for.
Let's go kick in a door, shall we?
I think we should be cautious here because
Yeah,
if there's anything
Godfrey-
I've learned in the last couple of encounters is things in Barovia are not exactly as they seem.
Yeah, it's a bit different to cracking goblin skulls.
Yeah, Godfrey did mention the last time we saw her that there was a lot more to her than met the eye.
Well, the magic on these pies is powerful, but somebody who's a powerful enchanter isn't necessarily a distinguished combatant, right? But, well,
We should be on our guard.
yeah, I think so.
So can we? Okay, so can I motion slowly towards the windmill? I guess.
You can certainly motion towards it, yes.
I'm going.
Loka's like doing arm waves, and the rest of us are just already walking there.
Yeah.
What are you
I'm
doing?
gonna walk towards it just kind of slowly again.
My character's not doing what it should. Yes,
God.
That's
that
a
wasn't
good
me this
rifle.
time. That was not me this time.
Yeah. So
Alright.
we'll walk
Has
up
spread
towards the
For
windmill.
once.
Okay, you walk towards the windmill, and you all once again approach the outside of it.
Is there just one entrance exit to this place?
Yeah, it looks to just be the one front door.
There's no windows.
Not on the ground floor. The upper floors do, but they're kind of smudged over and hard to make
How-
out anything in the
How
interior.
high is it?
Yeah,
Um,
actually.
It looks to be three stories high. There's the ground floor above that, and floor above that, because that's how 3 stories work, obviously. But then at the top of that, there's kind of a curved, almost cap on the top of the.
Like a windmill.
Yes. All right,
Gotcha.
Connor, that's it.
I
you're ready.
like the onion dome.
So how high is the window?
Oh god.
The top?
It's about 30 feet or so up to get to the first one.
Hey, here's a thought. Just a thought. Do we think there's like live children inside, or do we think that's them there? I'll gesture to where the teeth were.
Who knows?
I think either way we need to find out. So
Well,
I think we should assume that they're inside, because if we don't and we do something dangerous, we could harm innocents
Yeah.
inside.
Do you detect any magic, Godfrey?
good question. Give me about until 10 minutes to finish, and I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Why
5
we-
minutes around it.
If
I was gonna say I didn't know if like us like walking around and exploring took 10 minutes, but I guess not. Um,
I don't really know how this would work, but I can sort of sense when people are present within. This ability makes no sense. I'm not using it. It's
Okay.
I refuse. Never mind.
All right, okay. Okay.
Alright, can I put my ear to the door?
Sure. And then make a perception check.
10.
10. You hear something bustling around, maybe on the other side of the door, but it's hard to make out exactly what it might be.
Well, I imagine they probably know we're here. There's, windows.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to them.
Let's knock.
Yeah.
I say we bust down the door.
Well, in you go, Nerolos.
Well, wait.
I
Shouldn't
can't do it.
Isn't this innocent until proven guilty? Maybe we knock first and
No,
then.
I don't think this is innocent until proven guilty.
There's a bunch of kids' teeth.
Well, but we don't know who the bad guy is in there yet, do we?
The crones, I imagine.
Okay, fine. I kick the door.
You kick the door? Okay, make a
was gonna
check.
Oh,
open
off
it
he goes. All right.
What do you want to do?
He kicked the door.
Kicking the door.
Okay.
Well,
make a-
okay. Well, I would have stepped up to the door, and someone would have probably been like, "Whoa," and so
No,
or we
I
not.
would have just watched you do it.
Did it.
Yeah, I was watching you do it.
All right,
Oh,
make
okay.
a
No one
strength
stops
check.
me then. Okay.
My ears to the door and all I see is a foot. Jeez.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not great. It's a strength check, right?
Yes.
That's a 14.
A 14. Okay. You slam your foot into the door, and the cracked wood breaks, and there's a resounding crunch.
I
but
really
the door-
hope his foot is stuck in the door now.
the door doesn't fully open, but it looks like it might be another kick would probably smash the
Can
door.
I open the handle?
Okay, so you reach for the handle, and yes, the door does open.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey.
I kind of give him a really snarky look, like
Amazing inventions, these
That.
handles.
Hey, Nirlo said to kick it. I was just
Okay.
breach and enter.
anyway. So I walk in, kind of
You walk
axe ready, kind of
Axe
thing.
ready.
Well, not like out, but like
Ready. Okay.
Red.
Ready in some fashion. Okay.
ready in the bed.
So the ground floor of the windmill looks to have been converted into a makeshift kitchen, but the room itself is quite filthy. There seems to be small bones littering the flagstone floor. Baskets and old dishware are piled up everywhere. And adding to the clutter is a chicken coop in one corner.
Oh, God.
There's a heavy wooden trunk and a pretty wooden cabinet with flowers painted on its doors.
Oh.
And in addition to the clucking of the chickens, you also hear toads croaking. And there's also the sweet smell of pastries that kind of wafts towards your nostrils. But it also seems to blend with some other horrible stench that burns your nostrils. And the awful odor looks to come out of an upright barrel in the center of the room. Warmth issues from a brick oven against one wall, and a crumbling staircase ascends the wall across from it. And you can make out cackling laughter somewhere higher up.
So they're not on the main floor.
There's no old women on the main floor.
Just chicken.
I would like to walk cautiously towards the barrel with my nose blocked
Okay. So
and look inside.
looking inside the barrel, it seems to hold this glistening greenish black liquid that looks to be very thick, and there's a foul odor coming off it.
Is there a stick anywhere
Hell was that?
around me?
Yeah, there's
Like
kind of
a
old pieces of
pencil.
wood if you want to just try and plop it in it and stir it to see what would happen.
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything in it.
Okay,
besides
so
the goo.
you grab just like a kind of discarded plank of wood and stir through it. Nothing rises to the top, but a small bubble kind of breaks through and releases more of this foul odor that kind of makes you, cough and splutter a little bit.
What the?
Frank,
hell?
do I see any like anything that would indicate children, like, or like, or like clothing or anything that would indicate other humans being around?
Well, there is the fact that this kitchen appears to be well used, indicates that somebody might
I
use this
guess.
kitchen. But make an
No
investigation check.
I was gonna say no traces of kids, I guess. 12.
12. You look around, there's something that seems to indicate exactly children, but as you're kind of peering around and looking through some things, your feet constantly kind of scrape across bones that litter the flagstone floor. Some of them look to be relatively small.
I don't like the look of this.
I will go. Hello, chickens. I am Aramil, and I will cast Speak with Animals on these chickens.
I just want to say I am at the bottom of the steps with my bow out and just being like,
Sure. Can you give me the text for your speak with animals, Locke, just to remind me what it does?
Yes.
So I
Please
can
tell me he starts clucking.
starts
really
doing
hope
the.
I put it in the cast.
At least he'll
Alright.
sound like a chicken, so it won't sound inconspicuous.
It's true.
Okay, so learning about the beast's past experience of the last day seems to be entirely kept in this coop, where occasionally a hand reaches down and takes one of its fellows away from it.
It's a
seems to
stupid
be the-
chicken.
Extent of its sorry little existence.
Can I go?
What about?
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna ask. Can it tell me anything about the creature's hand that picked it up?
Isn't it limited by the? What's a chicken's intelligence?
Yeah, the chickens
know.
aren't really that smart. It doesn't
Chickens
really.
are okay.
It's more the emotion you get from when the hand appears is fear, because it takes its friends away from it, and then they never return.
All right. Thank you for your help, chickens.
You're very welcome.
What a suave chicken.
Yeah. Suave little motherfuckers.
gentle chicken.
Mother cluckers.
All right, guys. The chicken told me she's up there.
Connor,
Good, great.
at this point, I would say you're. So was it detect magic? you were
Detect
casting?
magic, yes.
Can you give me the text for that as well?
I sure can, Craig.
I just want to double check.
Give me a moment. Where is here? It is. All right. For the duration, I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. If I sense magic in this way, I can use my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area, and I learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, or lead.
Okay. So the only thing you pick up in this room is a small magical aura coming off something in one of the cabinets. But there's no school of magic to this. You just detect there's something magical in the kind of nicely painted cabinet with the kind of flowers.
Can I mage
wanna go
hand
there.
and open the cabinet?
Sure, you open the cabinet.
No,
Let's
I
see
was
what-
just gonna open it, but
Well,
okay.
you don't know.
Well,
there's
you don't
anything magical
actually
in
know
it.
that it's there.
So
No,
what
I don't
you-
know it's there. I wanted to look in the cabinet anyway, so.
Alright, I'm gonna mage hand and pick up the item.
Well, it's the cabinet door is closed, so you're going to open the cabinet door with your mage hand.
Yes. I open the cabinet door and grab whatever's magical.
Okay, so you open the cabinet door. At least be full of wooden bowls, and it seems to have herbs and some baking ingredients in it, including flour, sugar, that sort of thing. Hanging on the inside doors of the cabinet, it looks to be a dozen or so locks of hair, and you see 3 small labeled elixirs that are there. And the one that glows magically to you is one with kind of a golden yellow syrup inside it, with the word youth written on the label. The others have laughter and mother's milk written on the labels.
I will mage hand the vial over to myself.
Okay.
And take a closer look.
Sure, you take a close look. Yeah, it looks to be something magical about the liquid inside that vial.
I will squirrel it away for now.
Okay.
I will stack up on the stairs next to Nerolos and be ready to go.
will stand with them, ready to go.
There's no hatch to a lower level in this room. It's only up, right?
Seems to be, yeah. You've kind of looked around, you've been in the room long enough. You haven't seen any trapdoors or anything like that. It seems to be the only way up is the
Just wanna
staircase.
make sure.
We're like a game party right now. 3 out of 6 are readied up.
Yeah.
We need the majority to be able to go up.
Hit ready.
I think we should do this quietly so that we get the jump on them. if
They
possible.
definitely already know we're here.
they know.
Someone
Yeah, I kicked that. I
Norman.
kicked that door. They
Yeah.
have windows. They know we were here. Even Godfrey said it when we were outside.
They cackled.
Mm.
Yeah, do we
Who
want to
tackles
fight them in such a confined space?
Probably not, but
I'm
how do we
not a
get them out?
fan.
I don't have explosives or anything. Unless
Well,
you
we could
guys
search for
have-
children. If there's none here, we can go outside and set fire to the place.
Yeah, we can stake them
But
out.
what if there's
What if
kids
they're
upstairs?
Wait.
There's
What if
three
we just stake them out?
What good does that do?
What if-
We're gonna be-
These kids could die. We don't have time.
Yeah, if we stake it out, I think they just wait until it's dark and then something else kills us, or they,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I
okay,
want
yeah.
to- Let's
Then
go
we don't
say
really
hi.
have a choice.
I
yeah,
think
we don't
you
have a
should
choice.
probably go upstairs.
All right, I'm gonna whip out my axe and walk up the stairs,
I'm readying my shield and sword.
Okay, so you're heading up.
hating every.
Stay with me. I can protect you.
I am not head. I'm just
No, you
hanging
can't.
back at the back of the group. at the moment.
There's always one.
I do not want to be in melee with anything ever. So
Okay. So, those of you.
I will follow behind Rosalind and Loka. I'll go third.
Okay.
I thought I was at the front.
You're in the front, Nirla, so
Okay.
we'll be
I
behind
mean,
you. and then-
you can go in the front if you want.
I'm a stocky lad.
He's a stocky lad.
I am
Yeah.
not a
Okay.
stump.
Craig,
Go ahead.
Craig,
Yeah,
Craig's
do
just
it.
nodding his head. He knows.
Me and Layson are just
I
rummaging
only
around the drawers.
took 42 points of damage last session. Don't worry. Go
Bloody
ahead.
hell.
Layson and I are stealing their cutlery while you.
Man, this
We've
is
got
fine-
it. Let's
fine
go.
China. Holy shit.
Okay. So you head up the stairs and it creaks ominously as you ascend, and slowly you make your way up until you can see what looks to be a chamber that leads up here. It seems to be has these dark, dirt-caked windows, which seems to allow very little light to enter this 8-foot-high chamber, most of which is taken back up by a large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling in the center of the room. You can see there's a stone staircase on the opposite side that would seem to lead up further. However, in the room itself, you can see the familiar figure of Granny, who you recognize from the village of Barovia. So that's a heavy-set older woman with a face as wrinkled as a boiled apple, sweeping the floor. And she seems to be sweeping up a cloud of white dust as she does so. And as she kind of turns toward you, you can see she's wearing a flour-caked apron, which seems to have red stains across it, and her long white hair is kind of bundled up and impaled with a sharp bodkin. And as she kind of meets eyes with you as you all enter, she says, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you all so soon, dearies."
Didn't expect to find you here, Granny. You got some
Legit.
explaining to do.
Legit. I'm just like, no, I didn't like you, and I'm going to attempt to shoot at her.
No.
You want to shoot her immediately.
Bloody
She
hell.
steals children.
We
She has
don't
blood
know
on her-
that.
She has blood on her apron.
We don't know where the kids are.
No, she just made a cherry pie, and now Neralos is
Justin,
gonna
do
be
you remember the
mad.
last time you impulsively attacked somebody as soon as we met them? It was
Yeah,
in
we
the
did.
last campaign,
What
and we
happened last
all
time?
died.
Wait, when was that?
That was Milton's
You
fight,
shot
remember?
at Milton immediately as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was like mid small talk with him, and you shot him.
I'm gonna go ahead and not do that.
He retracts his previous action.
I will at the very least notch my arrow.
Okay.
Like,
That's fine. Don't shoot her though.
knock.
Okay. So as you, for a brief moment, you think very much of loosening an arrow at her. She seemingly realizes this and says, "There's no need for that. Put your weapons down. I think you've come to buy some more pies, have you? Did you like the first ones I gave you?"
Yeah, they were
Oh, gross
delicious.
pies.
Well, they're 1 gold apiece if you're interested. I've got some bacon fresh if you're ready.
Got a question for you.
What's
Alright, well,
the secret to the pie?
What
I've
is the
told-
secret, Granny?
I've told you, it's an
Ready,
old
ready.
family recipe.
You wanna explain those teeth we found outside?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to explain the bones downstairs?
Well, they're animal bones. Some of my pies have meat in them, after all.
I'll make my way up the stairs while this is going on. I don't hear immediate warfare, so I'll go upstairs.
Can
Okay.
we like push our way into the room more? At least I want to be kind
Yeah,
of
you
like.
guys can come off the staircase and kind of bundle out into the room, fill it up as best you can.
Sure.
The fact that there's a pile of human teeth outside your house is purely coincidental.
I don't really know. I don't know what to say. It's a strange land we live in.
I'll just say, hey, so are you the powerful enchanter with the magic and the pies?
What makes you say that, dearie?
Oh, the fact that I'm quite an experienced mage myself. Come on, it's quite a simple trick to detect that. I'm sure that you know it.
Aye, there is magic in the pies. I'll admit that.
Oh,
How else would I make them taste so sweet?
I don't think it's got anything to do with the taste, does it?
I am trying really hard not to shoot this lady. I'm just like looking at every other party member like,
Granny, what's in that barrel downstairs?
Oh, the one in the middle of the room. Well, that's part of the recipe of what goes into the pies.
How can you put something so rancid into a pie and it tastes good?
Magic.
Well, it's all in the way you cook it, my dear.
you didn't actually answer that question.
She
I mean, we're
goes
gonna need some
question
answers
to that.
from you. Because we're
Listen.
mighty close to doing something you won't like.
Well, who are you to demand answers of me? You're in my home. You've broken in. Why should I do anything, you ask?
Well,
we actually knocked once really hard.
yeah, it's true.
The door's just
We
broken.
have a problem with overzealous knocking. So
Here, then we'll offer this then. We'll answer whatever questions you have, and I'll fix your door. If you can,
wow.
if you just tell us what you know about the kids that have been reported going missing around here.
Okay, as you say that, you can see her rub her hands together and almost lick her lips and says, "Oh, aye, Granny's fond of a deal. Go ahead then. One question each. I'll tell you the truth if you tell me the truth."
I'll more than happy to oblige that. I have no secrets.
Very well. Ask your question.
Do we get one question each, or are you going to ask us one
No,
question each?
no. One question from you as a group.
Oh, and you're
Okay,
going to
I'll-
ask us one question each?
And I'll just ask one question to you as a group.
All right.
Okay. I'll turn back to the group, keeping an eye on Granny, not like turning my back to her, but just turn to the group and say, our question should be, where are the kids, right?
No.
I've got a better one.
Question.
What is it?
Oh, just a general approach of why she does all this.
But
Do we know that already?
does that really help us?
It
Well,
doesn't help us find the
it
kids.
might
just kinda
help tell us
curious.
she's evil, and
Well,
I'm kind of getting the evil vibe right now, just saying.
I understand you're a bright mind who wants to satiate their curiosity, but I really feel like we should find out where the kids are.
I think that's part of doing this.
Nurilis is about to shoot her. Can we just think of a
I
question?
don't. I'll just
Literally
say,
just trained on her.
I'll just say, Granny, where are the kids that have gone missing around here?
They're upstairs.
Yep. I mean,
I'm
that was
going
pretty
to-
obvious, but all right.
I'm gonna as she says that, I'm going to strafe around her, approaching the other set
So
of stairs.
she
that you
gets
said
to
were
ask
the
her
other-
question first.
Oh no, that's
A
that's
deal
absolutely
is a
fine.
deal.
That's absolutely fine.
So who first told you about where I lived and how to find me?
We found evidence of your crimes.
But who told you to come look for me, an old bone grinder?
I don't really feel that, I'm
Come
not
on
gonna
now.
lie. I don't actually really care about lying to you. Honestly,
Well-
I'm not gonna answer your question. Someone else.
Okay, Locken, the player, doesn't remember the name.
It was Irina
That's-
who first told you.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Can. Yes.
There was a
That's
few
not
It was
I
at the
thought
cross. It was at the crossroads. It was already.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
and then it was the
Play a
Rectavio,
thing, right?
and then it was also the kids going missing with the
Say
Yeah.
Strahd.
say Strahd. There you go.
Well, we're a team, guys. What?
Tell her to fuck off.
Have I gotten to the door?
You've kind of moved towards the stair, but she says, as you kind of approach, I take it you're wanting to leave with the children then.
Preferably.
Well, I'll let you leave with them. But nothing is free, dearies. Everything has a price. Even the lives of sweet wee babbies. So how about another deal? And I'll let you leave with the children.
I'm
Are you just
listening.
gonna steal more?
That's true, I guess.
She doesn't
I don't-
answer that question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hear her
she's
out.
gonna steal more. All right.
Okay, wait. Let's hear her out first, and then
You want to hear the deal? Okay.
Yeah,
Locken,
sure.
the
why not?
player, really wants to hear the deal.
You want to hear the
Same.
deal? You want to hear the
That's
deal?
kinda what-
Yeah, I
I'll tell
really.
you what the deal is. I'll tell you what the deal is. Okay.
I don't like this.
Just, I'm prepared to give the lives of the children to you, but I'll be wanting something from one of you in exchange. A part of yourself that I will cherish and hold dear. You may have the final say in what you choose to give me. However, I would ask for one of you to give me either your final breath, your body, or your tongue? And no, you can't ask questions about these.
You can have Aramil's tongue.
Wow. So I'm legit just looking at the rest of the group, and I'm like,
I mean, I would look at Logan and be like,
I'm gonna look at Godfrey and literally like shrug. Like, I mean, can we? This is out of my realm.
I'm not exactly comfortable here either.
I'm just gonna like lean over. Can we just shoot her, please?
define justice.
I don't know if we really want to fight her.
There's 6 of us in one of
There's
us.
6 of
That-
us, and
There was only one of Strahd, and we agreed not to fight him then too.
we've seen Strahd do a lot more.
You shot Strahd,
You should be
remember?
very much more afraid of people who were.
Also, yeah, didn't you shoot at Strahd?
Because we were trying to get away, I shot him to hold him down.
Right, that makes sense. All right.
All right, I think I'm just gonna make the decision.
Yeah,
Shoot this lady.
I'm
was
not gonna
gonna-
stop you.
So
Yeah.
it's a no to the deal then, is it?
Judging by the arrow flying at you, I imagine
yeah.
probably so.
Okay. So Nerlosh, you fire off the arrow, and as you do so, she stamps down her feet, and you hear her call out, "Daughters, come to me!"
Oh,
There's only one
And-
of them. Great.
Sons of the Hound.
no, she's probably mind control.
And-
They're all dead.
That's where we'll end it for tonight.
Oh,
That was getting a little bit late.
time to
It's
die,
It's
everyone.
like the arrow flies
Thank you,
towards
yeah.
Granny's
Yeah,
face.
so
And then just
that-
cut to black.
yeah, it's like that bit in the Force Awakens when the laser is just hanging in the air. It's going to do that for a whole week.
Except
You
it's
see
that,
that.
but then the Seinfeld theme starts playing.
All right.
I apologize for this, but I was told to do this by someone from Merchant's Chat. Not this was when I was streaming. You are English. What the fuck did I say? You are all of our English dad.
Okay, that
There you
was
go.
Gatlin laser. I'm fully
You are
aware
correct,
of you
sir.
say that.
You are
Yeah.
absolutely
All right.
Well, I hope
Okay.
everyone enjoyed tonight's session. You got a good taste of Old Bone Grinder there, and we'll see how it plays out for the for the
We're all
party.
gonna die.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And
It's
see
okay,
how,
just
see how
bring the
things
dog next week. It'll be fine.
But yeah, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
I
See
like
ya.
that.